Yes, so this is for two Baba legendary, the microphone general, Vicky J. Pondis. Nothing they happen. Yes, so for decades you've been giving us reasons to be happy. Yes, so your voice, your music, always a soul revival. Right from plantation days to Kenny's music, Baba, I see you as my brother, my mentor, my legend, motivator too, Baba. What's really going on? Don't let anybody change your identity. You're stronger than the shadows, whispering negativity. Cut off the fake friends, the ones who pretend that they freeze, the ones who ride storms just to trend. Because if to say not just me, nobody go challenge me. But I remember you said, if love is crime, I'm willing to go jail. But my brother, not everybody will smile be true queen. Real queens uplift their kings. God be home, respect the crown and bring peace within. Now I they see you, they struggle for the wrong reasons. It they pain me when hungry bloggers they feed on your story. And frustrated strangers they dance around your storm. Some call it karma, some say I can't God of any. But Baba, make you turn, because it's never too late to turn back when the road gets rough. Some roads no be your road, some battles no be your battle. A true king needs a lawyer, peaceful queen, not somebody will go dim your light or break your royal spirit. My brother, check your journey again. I just wanna let you know, say, you're that my king too, Baba. No matter what they talk about you, your fans lay your back and I'm one of them. I just wanna let you know, say, this face shall pass, everybody get their issues. You're not the first, you know go be the last. I love you, my brother, stay strong, live life, look after yourself and your children. Believe me when I say, this face shall pass. To Baba, to Baba, to Baba, to Baba, to Baba. Vicky J. Pondis, one love, bless up. Yes, so, yes, so, this is for two Baba legendary, the microphone general, Vicky J. Pondis. Nothing they happen, yes, so. For decades, you've been giving us reasons to be happy. Yes, so your voice, your music, always a soul revival. Right from plantation days to Kenny's music, Baba, I see you as my brother, my mentor, my legend, motivator too, Baba. What's really going on? Don't let anybody change your identity. You're stronger than the shadows, whispering negativity. Cut off the fake friends, the ones who pretend that they freeze, the ones who ride storms just to trend. Because if to say not just me, nobody go challenge me. But I remember you said, if love is crime, I'm willing to go jail. But my brother, not everybody will smile be true queen. Real queens uplift their kings. God be home, respect the crown and bring peace within. Now I they see you, they struggle for the wrong reasons. It they pain me when hungry bloggers they feed on your story. And frustrated strangers they dance around your storm. Some call it karma, some say I can't God of any. But Baba, make you turn, because it's never too late to turn back when the road gets rough. Some roads no be your road, some battles no be your battle. A true king needs a lawyer, peaceful queen, not somebody will go dim your light or break your royal spirit. My brother, check your journey again. I just wanna let you know, say, you're that my king too, Baba. No matter what they talk about you, your fans say your back and I'm one of them. I just wanna let you know, say, this phase shall pass, everybody get their issues. You're not the first, you know go be the last. I love you, my brother, stay strong, live life, look after yourself and your children. Believe me when I say, this phase shall pass. To Baba, to Baba, to Baba, to Baba, to Baba. Vicky J. Condis, one love, bless up.
I know why you come to me with that foolishness, you know. You elect a prime minister, and is a prime minister run the country. It is time we learn to hold our leaders accountable for their actions and stop making excuses for them. Stop making excuses. Otherwise, go elect the people who really run in the country. And I don't want the right start that stupid argument. Hold the people you elect accountable and stop making excuses for them.
Hello, welcome. Happy Tuesday. Happy Tuesday to everyone. Happy Tuesday to those in television land. Happy Tuesday to our silent supporters. Happy Tuesday to everyone in the chat. As usual, thank you so much for tuning in. Really appreciate each and everyone continued support. Remember, guys, when you come in, thumbs up the live, share us out if you can. And if you're new to the channel, please show us some support by subscribing. That will be greatly appreciated. Tonight's topic is Trifecta of Evil with your host, Mystic Cessation, which comprises Anne-Marie, Baron and Anne-Marie. We also have Melting Pot in the building. Unfortunately, Mr. Rattigan will not be here this week again because he still have issues dealing with, but he said definitely he should be here next week.
Next Tuesday.
Next week, Tuesday. All right, so I'm going to give an umbrella welcome to everyone in the chat. As usual, thank you so much. And a special shout out to all our channel members and also to our moderators. And continue to hold those in ground zero in your prayers because things are still not good for a lot of people there. So continue to keep them all in your prayers. Without
All right.
Sorry, guys. Without any delay, I'm just going to hand over to Baron.
Well. Bless up to all my viewers and listeners. Once again, we want to say an umbrella welcome to you all, right? And we give thanks for you to be here, right? Now, without any delay, because, we have our duty to perform tonight. And of course, we are going to hit with high energy. Now, without any delay, let me just have Brother Melting Pot. And before I bring forward Melting Pot, right? So myself and Rattigan, we had a wonderful conversation today, and he's dealing with some issues. But definitely, as my wife said, that he will be here next week for sure. All right, so Ratty, bless up yourself. All right, without any delay, let us just bring Melting Pot, right, to talk to his people.
Pleasant good night, everyone in the chat of love and blessings as usual. This is Mystic Sensation Live and a Tuesday night.
Yeah, the volume, Melting Pot. Talk up into the mic. Volume.
Blessings.
Yes.
So,
Yes.
as usual, we love the people when them tune in on a Tuesday night. You know, say Tuesday night is where it's live and the mystic sensation. You don't know, we have all type of bangarang that we can call revelation, where we have to discuss, dissect, and analyze, and bring the truth to the people. So as
Yes.
usual, pick up the people on the ground zero. Once again, enough love and blessing from melting pot. Having a right here in my heart and in my thought. Yeah, know the struggle is on, but one day it shall, be taken away.
All
I
right.
also want to pick up everyone in the chat. Pleasant love and greetings to you all. My people, Kingston 13 and 11 region, as usual, Union Garden, Greenwich Farm, Whitfield Town, Maxwell Avenue, Payne Avenue, right across to 3 Mile, Agley Park Road, Majestic Garden. Enough love and to all the blood and fire coming right and across the length and breadth of Jamaica. I love melting pot sets, And to the host, Sir Lord Byron, of respect once again be here. And a Tuesday night as usual. We don't know you put in work from over the weekend. And to the technical director, Lady Anne Marie, it's always a pleasure to have you behind the scene with Goldfinger, moving the screen back and forth, presenting the artifact to the people live. So once again, enough respect from the Mystic Sensation Live. And I hope you all tune in, Have your coffee, your cocoa tea, your green tea, your bush tea, your roast corn, piece of roast potato, anything, but you don't know where they are phone. Love and blessing from melting pot as usual. And back to the host.
All right. Blessing, 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 my peeps. All right. We have on our template here, we have, of course, right, some geopolitics that we'll be delving into, right? And Jamaica in crisis. We are going to deal with that, right? We have justice delayed, justice denied, right? We have to deal with that as well. And of course, we have other issues that we are going to address. But Jamaica, I think I want to start with, push back the geopolitics a little bit. And I want to start with justice delayed, justice denied. And we have been seeing, right, some hanky-panky, right, taking place as it relates to Rural Reid's case, right? And we are going to dig into that, right, as it relates to the Rural Reid case. Because let me say this, we have to move away from the Jamaica Labour Party administration that try to normalize corruption, right? And that is one of the reasons that we are fighting here today, because we want good governance and we want the DPP to be the DPP for Jamaica and not selective justice, right? Well, with this particular case, as it relates to the Rural Reid case, the Rural Reid case is actually in the court. So then, the DPP, where she's concerned, doesn't really have anything to do with that. That case is in the court, but we are going to delve a little in it. So, honey, let us bring up the first documentation as it relates to, right, former Education Minister Rural Reid, right? Let us get into that. Jamaica, we have seen Rural Reid, right, utilizing delayed tactics upon delayed tactics upon delayed tactics, right? Now, let me say this, Jamaica, and let me say this to Rural Reid. There is no way, Rural Reid, you can escape this judgment. And I'm happy that Damian Crawford had already put the slogan out there. One by one, they will be going to jail. And I know, my Jamaican people, right, that statement, right, is so true. And I know as I look on this case, there is no way Royal Reed, right, can beat this case. No way. And so then we have seen his lawyer, right, try to, win the case, or, prevent the case from going forward as it relates to, right, procedural issues. But, Mr. Wildman, what should I say? I know that, right, you're doing your best. Let me say this, right? I because I don't want people to be cussing out the lawyers, right? The lawyers being paid to present, right, a good case, right, for their client. And I will say that Mr. Wildman is doing that. But I will have to say, Mr. Wildman, this is a case, obviously, right? You can't win, right? And I am betting all my bucks on that. Now let us get into that. February 27, 2026. So you know that this is quite recent, Jamaican people. Former Education Minister Royal Reed and 3 co-accused lose another bid to end corruption trial. And that is what we are talking about, right? Let us get into, right, the matter. The Supreme Court has rejected a renewed bid by former Education Minister Royal Reed and 3 co-accused to end their corruption trial, saying their challenge had no prospect of success, real or imagined. Now, we find also that their intended case is unmeritorious, said Justice David Batts, Dale Palmer, and Tara Carr in a 10-page judgment on Friday, refusing permission for the court to commence a claim of judicial review against a ruling by Parish Court Judge Sanchia Burrell. The matter was heard on February 3rd. A single judge of the Supreme Court rejected a similar application in January, but the 4 renewed their bid before the full court. Reed, his wife Sharon Reed, their daughter Cheryl Reed, and former Caribbean Maritime University President Fritz Pinnock sought to challenge the judge's decision that an order for indictment was defective because it's only named Reed and Pinnock and not all 5 accused persons. I have to be really smiling as it relates to that. You can see that Mr. Wildman, right, he's just, clutching onto straws, right? You said what, droning man, right? Catch at straws. And this is definitely what Mr. Wildman is doing. I will happy, let me just read on before I make my comment. The 5th accused, Jamaica Labour Party councillor Kim Brown Lawrence, was not a party to the Supreme Court action. An indictment is a formal written document in which a prosecutor sets out criminal charges against an accused. The application contended that the alleged defect rendered the entire trial, which began in October last year, nullity, and that the indictment must be treated as if it never existed. I want to hear Wildman. What happened to you, Mr. Wildman? The panel held that the intended claim was made on a false premise and ruled that the parish court judge had acted within her statutory authority. She has not exceeded her statutory power and therefore has not acted illegally or in excess of jurisdiction, the court found. Now, the judge stressed that judicial review addressed illegality, irrationality, and procedural impropriety, and is not a mechanism to correct alleged errors of law by a court acting within its jurisdiction. To put the point in classical terms, a judge, when acting within jurisdiction to make a decision of law, is entitled to be right or wrong, and that a court of judicial review will not inquire into its correctness, the judgment stated. The court also ruled that the applicants had an alternative remedy by way of appeal, adding that the applications have been moved before the court since 2019, and the matter should be allowed to be ventilated, fully agreed with the judge. It is a case that has attracted great public attention as it involves allegations which impact directly the public purse, right? And public trust, of course. In these circumstances, it is in the public interest that the trial proceeds. And of course, again, agreed. It ought not to be interpreted in this way, the panel said. On the substantive issue, the judges concluded there was nothing implicit or express in the relevant statutory provisions requiring that where multiple accused are before the court on several informations, the order for indictment for each must be endorsed on the specific information relative to the accused. It may be advisable or an admirable practice, but it is not required by the legislation, the court ruled. The judges noted that when acts with prejudice had been suffered, counsel for the applicants offered none. There could not be prejudice, the judgment said. Again, agreed with the judge. Cheryl Reed, Pinnock and Brown Lawrence are accused of participating in a scheme to defraud the Education Ministry and the Caribbean Maritime University of more than 25 millions, right? They were charged in 2019. And I want to remind our ardent listeners of something when we talk about the Jamaica Labour Party, right? Have no interest in terms of, making our nation educated. As a matter of fact, right here, they are the ones who guilty to tear down our education system, mash down our education system. But look at it, my Jamaican people. From 1954, right? The Jamaican Labour Party members of parliament, right, being processed, put into the court, right, and charged, right, for corruption as it relates to the Ministry of Education. So the history is there, right? The MO is there as it relates to the Jamaica Labour Party, mashing down, right, the progress of Jamaican people. And here, brought forward to 2026, what you have, Rural Reed, of course, answering to charges of corruption in where the Ministry of Education. And prior to Rural Reed situation, also we have Andrew Holness again ravish, right, the Ministry of Education by awarding, right, several contracts to Gavin. So the Prime Minister, right, it's such an irony where the Prime Minister coming out speaking as if he cares about education when he, right, also involved, right, in taking education away from our children by damaging our education system. And now also behind the curtain, fighting, right, for Rural Reed to be free of these corruption charges and thus normalize corruption. It will not happen. The trial is expected to continue in the Kingston and St. Andrew Parish Court next week. So Jamaican people, now listen up. This trial, as it relates to Rural Reed, right? And so then we pass whatever possibly could gone wrong with any form of procedural errors, right? And we have now, right, overtaken all the hurdles. So the trial is going to proceed. And of course, the Jamaican people are anticipating this particular trial. So my Jamaican people are please made aware that Rural Reed trial, right, will be proceed next week. Now, Reed and the other three applicants were represented by attorney Hugh Wildman, Caroline Shannon Clark, and Shamar Bryan, instructed by Hugh Wildman and company. The respondents were the parish court judge and clerk, of course, Joel Haggard. They were represented by Deputy Solicitor General Lisa White and Janai Pinnock from the Attorney General Chambers. The Financial Investigation Division, which probed the case, appeared in the matter as an interested party. Now, take that away, right? Now, Jamaica, we are happy, very much happy that this case, right, will be proceeding next week. And of course, this is one of the cases that we are anticipating that, yes, right, we are going to get the people of Jamaica, they are going to get the victory in this particular case. Now, let me get back to this other document, Jamaica struggles to tackle money laundering, right? And, you know, it is very serious that, you know, Andrew Holness, as it relates to the Banana Republic, right, that he's running, right, wanted to normalize corruption. Now, so Jamaica struggle to tackle money laundering amid corruption, resource shortfall, U.S. report, right? Look at that, right? U.S. is reporting that Jamaica struggle to tackle money laundering amid corruption. Now, Jamaica efforts to combat money laundering are being undermined by severe resources constraint and systemic corruption. People, you hear that? Right? You hear that? Let me just read back that over. Jamaica's effort to combat money laundering are being undermined by severe resource constraints and systemic corruption. Mighty goodness. According to the latest international narcotics control strategy, right, from the U.S. State Department, people, I want you to see it where it is coming from. And when we are telling them that, of course, we know that United States, right, of persons on introduction, right, that sits on the DPP's desk. We want to show you this, right, that the United States Department is now coming out, speaking clearly. Now, I am wondering, my Jamaican people, right, this is April 5th, 2025, right? April 5th, 2025, right? Now, the report identified organized criminal network. This is out of the U.S. State Department, and I want to share this document with you, Jamaica, right? That when we are talking, right, and other stations are saying that we are lying, we are running propaganda, we want to show you, Jamaica, the evidence. Let me go back to show you, right, that, of course, it is, here it is, the U.S. State Department, right? The report identified organized criminal network, some with ties to influential Jamaicans. Come on, Jamaica, listen up. And key players in the real estate and used car sectors as the primary drivers for money laundering in the country. It also highlights political and public corruption as critical enablers of these illicit activities. According to the INCSR, the illicit proceeds fueling Jamaica's underground economy are largely generated from narcotics and weapon trafficking, cybercrime, financial fraud schemes. Jamaica, remember that we have seen that Andrew Holness placed $700 US in Citibank. Jamaica, we look at that. We have seen that, right? Extortion and corruption. Many of these crimes, the report noted, specifically target United States citizens, particularly through fraud and lottery scams aimed at elderly victims. And I know that they're also making reference of SSL. Jamaica, this is serious, right? So we are showing it that the United States is picking up everything as it relates to, illicit proceeds, right? Weapons trafficking, cyber crime, financial fraud schemes, extortion and corruption, right? We have seen the Prime Minister and his wife, right, as it relates to building several mansions, real estate big in a real estate, doing all what they are doing, and Jamaica cannot explain their wealth. Cannot explain their wealth. No, you are hearing this from the United States. No, you are not hearing this from any entity out of Jamaica. So when we tell you that they are being monitored by the United States, it's no joke. Many of these crimes, the report noted, specifically target United States citizens, particularly through fraud and lottery scam aimed at elderly victims. The State Department also flagged significant cross-border criminal activity, including the trafficking of small arms and drugs between Jamaica and the United States and Central America, Europe, and Haiti as a major source of illegal wealth. Now, we have seen also that the WikiLeaks document featured who? Featured none other than Horace Chang. And of course, the WikiLeaks document accused Horace Chang of trafficking arms and drugs. Now, in 2024 alone, Jamaica faced a wave of financial crimes. People, I know we have said this is coming out of United States. In 2024 alone, Jamaica faced a wave of financial crimes, from lottery scamming and corruption to counterfeit goods and cybercrime. Yet, according to the Financial Investigation Division, FID, only 83 staff members were in place as of October 2024, far below the division target of 230 personnel. So what they are saying, that systemically, right, FID have been understaffed with the aim that FID may not be that effective, right, to carry out their job. And so then they are speaking out loud, speaking about the Andrew Holness administration. There is the evidence right in front of your face. Now, the FID did not respond to the request from the Gleaner for a comment on these staffing figures. From January-October 2024, the FID report 11 prosecutions and 8 convictions of financial crimes alongside the seizure of millions of dollars in criminal assets. The report also acknowledged Jamaica's continued cooperation with the U.S. in extraditing lottery scammers, many of whom targeted Americans seniors. While the U.S. recognized Jamaica's increased enforcement of the Proceeds of Crime Act and noted steady gains in convictions and asset forfeitures, it emphasized that prosecutorial challenges persist. People, when I am telling you and eating about the DPP, when we are telling you and eating out on the DPP, let us read this paragraph again to show you that they are also speaking as it relates to the situation with the prosecution. And you know that it is the DPP that lead the prosecution team. While the U.S. recognized Jamaica increased enforcement of Proceeds of Crime Act, right, as it relates to policies and so forth, and noted steady gains in convictions and asset forfeitures, it emphasized that prosecutorial challenges persist. These include underfunded law enforcement agencies and judicial system stretched thin, right? And so then as a result of that, right, they're having difficulties. Financial crimes are often plea-bargain, or prosecutors focus on predicate offense to secure convictions, right? The report said, noting that money laundering charges are sometimes dropped in exchange for guilty pleas and related crimes, though asset recovery might still be pursued. Now, take this away. Now, let us show something as they're talking about money laundering that I want Jamaican people, right, to take note of. And we can't normalize the corruption, my Jamaican people, with Andrew Holness. We can't. We honestly can't. it's a very serious situation where the Prime Minister is concerned. Very serious, extremely serious. And so then the Prime Minister, right, trying to corrupt the criminal justice system, in extension, normalizing corruption, must not be accepted. And we are saying this because we want Jamaicans, right, to take a stand. Simple means the Prime Minister should not be able to go forward. The Prime Minister should not even be in Parliament, to be honest, right? Dealing with all of these situations. Shouldn't. Now, let me show it clear, as clear evidence as night and day. So clear as it relates to what we are talking about, as it relates to the corruption, particularly with the Prime Minister concerned. Let us lift up document one and then we go to document 2. Now, Jamaica, I want to show you, right, in clear instance. This is what we are talking about, Jamaica. 2018 here, the Prime Minister of $112 million. Right? So between 2018 to 2022, the Prime Minister wealth, right, extended to $200 million. I am showing you why the Prime Minister, under no circumstances, can explain his illicit enrichment. So I want you to look at the document as it relates to the period between 2018 here and 2022, what it is saying. The Prime Minister is saying in 2022, right, his total assets, income, and liability is $200,367,322. That is what the Prime Minister is saying, right? And this includes both the Prime Minister and his wife, as it relates to all of their assets. But take down that, right? And let us go to document 2. So I show that, and just to again be distinct in what we are showing. Now let us get to number 2. Jamaica, look at this. I want you to look at this document. Internet deposit and withdrawal by bank account 2021, June 13 to 2023. What you see here as it relates to Estate Bridge, Imperium, and Positive Media. The Prime Minister running $473 million. People, this is strong evidence. This money, again, as it relates to what FID is looking on, where the Prime Minister is concerned. Because the Prime Minister statutory declaration between 2018 and 2022 is showing the Prime Minister total assets to be 200 million. People, I want you to get it, you know. The previous document between 2018 to 2022 showing the Prime Minister assets, income, and liability to be 200 million. But Jamaica, watch this. This is 2020 to 2023. The Prime Minister is showing $473 million going through 3 of his shell companies. 3 of his shell companies. And which also have another problem as it relates to, right, a portion of his shell company reporting nil tax. People, I want you to look at this in terms of what I'm presenting here. Right? And as my wife said, 2020 and 2021 is the height of COVID.
So no COVID money there.
Right? It's the height of COVID. Look, 2020 to 2023. The height of COVID. And Andrew Holness running $473 million through NCB. To laundering the money, you need a bank. And the bank that the Prime Minister chose is NCB. To do that, I want people to look at this. The previous document showed is telling you, Jamaica, that the Prime Minister had told the investigators that this is all of my money I have. From 2018 to 2022, I have $200 million in income, assets, and liability. Well, if that is so, here investigation revealed that they found $473 million going through 3 shell companies of yours. And where NCB is rinsing this money for you. Take it away. Let me talk to Jamaica people. Let me talk to Jamaica people. Because the corruption cannot be normalized. And I want people to understand where I am going, showing these evidence, clear evidence. Right? While the Prime Minister is saying to the Integrity Commission that, look, my total income, assets, and liabilities between 2018 to 2022, I only have $200 million. That is what the Prime Minister told the Integrity Commission investigators. The document that I just presented is showing you that while he told the Integrity Commission investigators that the Prime Minister is running $473 million. Now, on top of that I have not spoken about, Juliet Holness, at least flat, right? As it relates to what she told the court, that her property valued in 2021, $800 million. $800 million. So then, let us do a quick check. If you talk about Juliet Holness' property, where we have been told, and this is hearsay, you understand, we have not proven this, that she is dealing with other properties. And what we were told, that the property at lease flat is one of the lesser property that she has been dealing with. She has been dealing with roughly about 3 properties. So let me ask the question, Jamaica people. If we calculate $800 million from Juliet Holness, right, which should be communicated to the Integrity Commission investigators, and we have also $473 million, by my rough calculation, that would be giving us roughly about 1.2, to said round it off to $1.3 billion. So Jamaican people, look at it. $1.3 billion had been totally hidden from the Integrity Commission investigators, as it relates to not telling the Integrity Commission investigators as it relates to his true wealth. So then we have to ask the question, why did he hide it from the Integrity Commission investigators? He has to explain, how did he come by these monies? And this is one of the reasons why FID has the report from God he knows when, cannot move left nor right, because FID simply cannot vindicate the Prime Minister. And I hope I make myself quick and clear. Melting Pot, come in and put down the sledge.
Yes, sir, Byron. I went just roughly run through first about the first segment with the bread meeting. God, you know, when I have to go over that.
Now, open at the mic, Melting Pot. We want to hear you strong.
Yes, I'm going to go through roughly a little bit of time on the Red Saga. Everybody know about that. But one thing I have to say, I like the stance where the judge, Sanchia Borrell, you know, she's saying that for them thing where them are filing have no merit. So she had thrown that. Yeah, because that is a long-standing case that she had done a long time. But we will look on something more significant than as it relates to Andrew Holness along with Juliet Wood. So you just do a permutation of two numbers and you roughly get $1.273 billion. Okay? But that is not all in a survivor. You have to remember, you have to factor in the two biggest projects that she was going on with, even though you use the term allegedly. Yeah? So they must value more than the 800 million upper lease flat. So we have to tie in another maybe 1.5, 1.6 billion on top of the 1.2. So you roughly look at nearly $3 billion worth of investment were hidden from the Integrity Commission where them not submit that. I am looking at roughly nearly $3 billion. Yeah? You look on the 473 million, we were in the bank when we are see. But look on the investment. It come close to that, sir. What you say about that? Tell me your opinion.
No, you're perfectly right. You're perfectly right. You're on point. You're on point.
Okay. So when I was making reference of Andrew Holness being a super billionaire in a CARICOM, this is now being, you know, revealed to the general public at large. This is why you see them continue to do investment, you know, them have too much dirty money. And this is why the United States has come out and categorically state all that they have said coming out of the United States Department. Yeah, the whole heap of corruption with money laundering. Yeah, weapon trafficking, cyber crime, financial fraud scheme, and we know them scheme that were like SSL. Yeah, and all them scheme there. Yeah, extortion and corruption. Many of the crime affected the United States senior citizens, so it seemed like them target them people. And we know, because remember, you know, when this scamming thing come up in a Jamaica, you know, the youth them a tell us enough for them thing. The youth them a work with the politician them. It was actually the politician them doing the scamming. And so them know all of the players and they are so corrupted. They send and steal back the loot from the players them and kill some of them. Because politicians have to keep them track clean, you know. So if you even get involved with them and you feel good at the outset, long run short, catch them, I'll catch you and take it back and wipe you out. Because them do not want you to call them name. This is how they play the game in Jamaica. Yeah? And so what them do now, this is how clever and how corrupted this government is. Them underfund the law enforcement agency. So them can't pursue justice. What a clever bastard this piece of shit Prime Minister is. Him alongside the Security Minister, Dr. Crab, where you know so the scamming was thick down a West, down a Mobi and a Film constituency. Crab involved in this up to him neck. Because remember WikiLeaks, you know, show us a Crab of the money laundering. It tell you, you know, well, money laundering is like what we see the scammers them carry out, stealing from senior citizens within the United States, mainly scamming these people of them, you know, hard-earned pension money, where to protect them through them latter stage in them life, them take it away from them, that crying shame. the Jamaica Labour Party administration has been the most corrupted administration in the Western Hemisphere for a mighty long time. And they don't give a, I don't want to use the word. They don't care about senior citizens. Them target senior citizens who are the vulnerable. You understand? Telling them all type of anansi kabweb and taking away the money. Though we are saying, yeah, that the time has come now, you know. And I don't know why United States is taking so long to come and scrape them up. Because they need to be scraped up and taken to United States for trial. Because there is no justice system in Jamaica. So we can't allow them to be tried in Jamaica. Yeah, the outcome and the result won't, coincide with the crime. They will let them off lightly with some slap on the wrist and some little idiot time in prison. We want them to go to America where we know America issue out all 500 years. Yeah, because all of them criminals, I know. Worse than Adam Stanford, you know. I mean, I tell people this, I mean, the reason why I say this, simple because Adam Stanford did something in similarity with people investment, but Adam Stanford has left a long-lasting legacy in the form of T20 cricket, them just having the World Cup. Several countries and individual players has benefited from what Adam Stanford did with that money. But what these criminals in Jamaica done to these people, steal their money, nobody benefit from it apart from them. And if Adam Stanford can get that amount of years in prison, these garbage in Jamaica must get 5 times the amount of years that Adam Stanford get. And people must call on United States to move swiftly like how they move swiftly to Adam Stanford. Because it didn't take long. Adam Stanford fly into large cricket ground via helicopter and land. And it amazes everybody and him come off with a briefcase. And him tell them, say, I want to play a T20 game with 20 million between England and West Indies. Adam Stanford come to the West Indies and built a cricket ground in St. Lucia. You understand? Yes, people, and he has left that there. Yeah, and T20 has given back to the world. What these criminals have done, they have not given back anything. Yeah, what they have done, they have taken away everything. And some people lose them life. Because what? They, pressure them brain, man. Everything gone. Man comes to me and say you win this. To your old senior citizen. Knowing fully well say you don't win nothing. You can take with the people their money. And the politicians them in Jamaica do it. And use the little youth them. And the youth them can't talk. And them tell we, The youth them talk to it. And make we know so not really them and do it. Them a work for the politician them. Like Dr. Thinking Crab. And the rest them who involved in it, them know themselves. And so justice now must be served. Yeah, justice must be served. So I'm asking the United States Department to come serve the justice. Pick up the nastiness. Them don't care who them is, the Prime Minister, everybody pick them up. They're not bigger than United States law. Pick them up. Clean them out. Stem the corruption. Because we don't have it from blueprint, we don't know what they are doing. So it's no secret what they are doing. Yeah? So what the United States Department need to do is come to Jamaica and pick up the garbage criminal them we have in the country from the Jamaica Labour Party. They are the one that carrying out all type of malicious act. When they're not scamming, when they're not doing money laundering, they are killing people. People of importance. And mostly when them kill them, we look them come from the People's National Party side. Yeah. Bloomfield. I now stop talking about Bloomfield, And I want you, the People's National Party Shadow Minister for Security, mention Bloomfield thing. Bloomfield thing is not a little simple thing for you just let it just drift away like the cloud in the sky. No, special attention must be to this now. The voice of the People's National Party is strong in Parliament. Yeah? And this case must be revisited. Yeah, the Arikwashi lawyer guy We take the youth from over there where we know some other youth there and can't come at town, come last him last youth, the youth not alive. And the youth mother need to talk up to, because she have some valid, information where she sit down on, She need to come tell me who pay the 800,000 with the lawyer fee. Because she don't have the money there. Yeah? And we see man I left from Kingston and go over there to represent the youth. While the killer they are both beer. Same way. The killer they are both beer round them. So right now Jamaica in a deep problem with this corruption and criminality, And who headed? The Jamaica Labour Party. I yield back the floor to you, sir, Lord Byron.
Right, brother Melting Pot. Love that. Now, Jamaica, let me just speak to you clearly. And we are going to show you, right, as it relates to how Andrew Holness is trying his best, right, to normalize the corruption, right? Because he knows very well that if he puts in the judiciary, right, he's going to go to prison. He's going to be found guilty based on all the evidence that's stuck up against him. Can you imagine, Jamaica, that Andrew Holness is seeking answers from FID because Andrew Holness wants FID to tell him what is going on with the case? Now, if Andrew Holness is seeking answers from FID, my question to Andrew Holness, right? Remember that you have sat down with the Integrity Commission investigators on several occasions. And the primary problem, Mr. Holness, is to the fact that when they ask you to explain your illicit enrichment, you cannot explain it. So then if you cannot explain it to the Integrity Commission investigators, why are you seeking answers from FID? I want you to look at what I'm saying, Prime Minister. You have sat down with the Integrity Commission investigators on several occasions. And the problem that you have with them is that question as it relates to you not able to explain your illicit enrichment. And remember that they have given you several years and several chances. They have been asking you from 2021 to explain your wealth, and you can't explain it to them. So why are you seeking information from FID? That doesn't make sense. Now look at this, Prime Minister. Let us get to Holness seeks update on FID probe. You're supposed to know what is coming down, Prime Minister. Let us just read that to the people, right, as it relates to what you're doing here. And this is February 1st, 2026. So it is this year, right? So we are not digging into old report, right? This is new report, February 1st, 2026. Holness seeks update on FID probe. Can you imagine? Now, the Prime Minister is seeking update on FID probe. But yet the Prime Minister cannot answer the questions as it relates to, his illicit enrichment in terms of explain your wealth. He can't answer it. But yet the Prime Minister is seeking answers from FID. Now listen to this, my Jamaican people. Lawmakers should consider amending the laws governing public bodies with investigative powers by including provisions to protect citizens from reputational damage. Legal experts have suggested. On a year where they are going, people. Lawmakers should consider amending the laws governing public bodies with investigative powers by including provisions to protect citizens from reputational damage. What they should have been doing and what they should have been seeking, right, is to strengthen the law to give Integrity Commission investigators prosecutorial powers, not to weaken it. not to weaken it. They should be looking forward, right? They should be looking to do what Singapore has done. What Singapore has done is to ensure, right, that they make their Integrity Commission investigators, right, that they have prosecutorial powers. Andrew Holness' system want to take its time slowly in diminishing them. Now, look at this. This suggestion comes amid confirmation by the Sunday Gleaner that Attorney of the Prime Minister, Dr. Andrew Holness, requested an update from the Financial Investigation Division about its probe that is related to his still uncertified statutory declaration. Prime Minister, what you want to do? You want to circumvent the system, right, and force them, right, to certify your statutory declaration. Sir, your statutory declaration cannot be certified because you cannot explain your wealth. It is this simple. The probe by FID began in late 2024 after a request from the Integrity Commission, IC, for a deeper look into Holness' financial affairs based on concerns that were flagged in an investigation report by the IC, which was submitted to Parliament in September that year. The IC is Jamaica's main anti-corruption body. Almost a year has elapsed since the reference of this report to your office, and therefore, in the circumstances, I request that your office provide an update to my client and the Integrity Commission. Now, Andrew Holness wants to set up the Integrity Commission because it is Andrew Holness' administration that passed Section 53, subsection 3, to muzzle the Integrity Commission investigators so they cannot speak on the investigation. So you see how tricky the Prime Minister is, right? Now, the Prime Minister attorney wrote in August 2025 letter to the head of FID, Dennis Chung. The FID confirmed to the Sunday Gleaner that it received correspondence from attorney representing Holness inquiring about an investigation relating to their client. A written response was provided directing them to seek the relevant information from the Integrity Commission, as any investigative matters concerning their client rest with that body. Now, you're pointing out that to the Integrity Commission to seek information from the Integrity Commission investigators, where you know that what hang over the Integrity Commission investigators' head is Section 53, subsection 3, right? The muzzling gag that you gag the Integrity Commission investigators so they cannot speak on any investigation until that is properly tabled in Parliament. So where are you going with this? The FID said in an email response on Thursday, the IC has not responded to questions that were submitted by the Sunday Gleaner on Friday, and they would not. Jamaica authorities vested with investigative powers are not obliged to provide a citizen with an update on their investigation unless stipulated in their respective legislation, says King Counsel's Peter Champagny, a top criminal defense attorney. Champagny believes this could be a fillip for lawmakers to take a fresh look at the legal framework for public bodies with investigative powers. They may want to revisit the legislation to say that there ought to be provisions there to avoid any reputational harm, right? Because I can see how somebody would be prejudiced, he suggested. So what you're saying, you are now giving justification to Andrew Holness as it relates to subsection 53, subsection 3, the muzzling clause, that they need to be muzzled as it relates to prevent reputational harm. Now, the Integrity Commission investigators, and this is one of the reasons why, that they should have been given prosecutorial powers to take Andrew Holness straight into court. And where the case was tried in court, and my well-learned friends make a decision on it. And then now that will take away the situation of reputational harm. So then, for example, that Andrew Holness cannot explain his wealth, right, as it relates to illicit enrichment. If the Integrity Commission investigators did have prosecutorial powers, right, they could have now charged him and put the case straight into the court. And where now the judge is going to look over the evidence and make a decision on it. So this is telling me that the Integrity Commission investigators, right, as it relates to the Integrity Commission Act, need to be strengthened. And what needs to be done, right, prosecutorial powers need to be given to the Integrity Commission investigators as opposed to just the DPP, right, have ultimate authority and the corruption prosecutor, right? If you want to be firm, these politicians shouldn't have nothing to fear. That if you are innocent, right, you should be willing to go into the court, right, and prove yourself. But obviously, you can't do that, right? And so you have a problem, and now you want now to weaken, right, the structure. Now, here it is. Let us say someone is awaiting promotion or elevation. He's giving now a scenario to another office, and this is what is preventing them from being elevated. Then you are prejudiced. No, not prejudiced. This is why the Integrity Commission investigators really need to have prosecutorial powers so that it is going to put into the judiciary, where the judiciary have the expertise to look on the evidence and make a determination, you understand, as it relates to whether or not they are guilty or not guilty, right? As opposed to using delayed tactics, right? Use all sort of strategy, you understand, to hold up the process. Look on what is happening as it relates to rural Reed situation. The amount of delayed tactics, and where the Supreme Court now finally tell him that, look, all what you are doing, right, is delayed tactics. Please allow the case to try, right, which is going to begin next week. And from once, if you're found guilty or you don't found guilty, you understand, you have the appellate court. You have the appellate court. Now, the attorney cited as an example a provision inbuilt in the revised Bail Act enacted in 2023, which allows for a suspect to be released on bail while the police continue their investigation of a possible crime. But what you must make note of, right? Yes, the police, nothing wrong with this, Mr. Lawyer. What you must pay attention to is that he has been charged. That criminal has been charged, right? And so then, since that he has been charged, he put before the court, and of course, he seek bail, right? And he get bail. So don't mix up the thing. This is different. This is where a criminal being charged, put in front of the court, and the charge, you understand, and where after being charged, the defendant is seeking bail. That is two different things. Under the law, suspect can be released for an initial period, which may be extended, or they must be released unconditionally if a charge is not laid. Here I say it here, if a charge is not laid within 6 months or an extended period. So what we are talking about? We are talking about, right, investigation as it relates to Prime Minister Andrew Holness, and where the Integrity Commission, right, investigators ask him to explain his illicit enrichment, and he cannot explain it. No, they should have extra prosecutorial powers to charge the Prime Minister and put him into the court. Now, after the Prime Minister being charged, the Prime Minister can seek bail. Nothing wrong with that. The fact of the matter would be after, you understand, questioning, you understand, due diligence exercise, and the Prime Minister charge, and then the Prime Minister can seek bail, put before the court and seek bail. It's a normal process, right? It's a normal process. Now take that document away, right? Now let me show you something, Jamaica, to show you how corrupted Jamaica system is. I am going to take you into the Caribbean that use the similar system to us. And I'm going to show you how the DPP, right, is far more vigilant than a Paula Llewellyn, far more vigilant than a Claudette Thompson. And I would like Claudette Thompson to look in terms of what I'm presenting. Now, look at this example that I am showing now, Claudette Thompson, as it relates to St. Kitts and Nevis that use similar system to ours. But look how the DPP act and measure yourself as it relates to asking yourself if you are acting like how the DPP in St. Kitts acting. Look how the DPP in St. Kitts behave. Let us find that. St. Kitts and Nevis DPP. Look how the St. Kitts DPP behave with politicians. Look at this. And which DPP, if you were the DPP for Jamaica, you'd have simply carried out the very same thing that the St. Kitts and Nevis DPP had done. Why are you not doing it? St. Kitts and Nevis use the very same system of law, right? And so then this DPP is showing you that you need to act. But you are not acting. Let us read and show you this, Claudette Thompson. St. Kitts Nevis DPP filed charges against 9 defaulters under Integrity in Public Life Act. I'll know in a DPP, right? You know, move forward to charge Andrew Holness. I'll know, and other persons, MPs who are corrupted. Where it comes to you, DPP, you are dead silent. And here it is, Paula Llewellyn pass on the button to Claudette Thompson. So why St. Kitts DPP, right, can take charge and do this, and you in Jamaica cannot move forward in charging these politicians? I want you to read this document. Look at this. Basret St. Kitts and Nevis Director of Public Prosecution, Adlai Smith, has filed charges against 9 defaulters under the Integrity in Public Life Act, just like the Integrity Commission Act, taken under the Integrity in Public Life Act, Cap 22.18 as amended. 2 public officials have been omitted and 1 extension granted per the list published. DPP Smith enforcement action is a follow-up to an initial press release issued on January 11, 2024, and public officials who failed to meet the filing deadline of 26th of January 2024. DPP in Jamaica, you know, charge none of them member of parliament here. You understand, who have committed themselves particularly with this offense. Now, in a press release dated February 1st, 2024, DPP Smith advised, as the DPP, hear what she said, and I want Claudette Thompson to listen to what this DPP said, to show you that moral compass matters. Transparency matters. And this is what I'm saying, that you cannot be the DPP for Andrew Holness. You have to be the DPP for Jamaica. So let me read what the DPP is saying. So the DPP is speaking. Open quote. As the DPP, I am tasked with upholding the rule of law and ensuring the highest standards of integrity among public officials. You hear that, Claudette Thompson? Claudette, have you heard that? Add in, open quote, close quote, add in, open quote. As of today, the deadline for compliance with the mandatory declaration requirement has passed. Now, it is with regret that we note several public officials have failed to meet this obligation. Now, look what the DPP done. Omitted an extension from the list. Now, look at this. Claudette Thompson. In accordance with earlier warnings, complaints were filed on January 31st, 2023 against public officials who failed to comply. Now, the names of 2 public officials have been omitted from the list below pending as legal opinion regarding the effect of their resignations and their obligations to file. Another has requested and been granted an extension until February 5th on compassionate grounds owing to the death and recent burial of his mother, the DPP Smith explained. Now look, all the public officials listed in the table below have failed to meet the filing deadline of 2026, January 2024. This list represents a diverse range of positions and organizations underscoring the universal applicability of the law to all the applicable public officials. Now, hear what the DPP said. While I have been made aware that at least one public official has filed since the deadline, that name has still been listed because the deadline of 26 January 2024 was the final deadline. You see how serious this DPP is? You see how serious this DPP is? She filed after the deadline and the DPP still punish him. That the deadline, you missed the deadline. So to create transparency, you have to be charged. Claudette Thompson, you will never ever do this. You will never ever do this. Now look at this now, Claudette Thompson. Look what happened. Summonses are presently being prepared by the court registry and will be served in due course, the DPP press release announced. And see here, Jamaican people, the DPP push them out. The DPP no hide them. When you see this, a DPP charge them member of parliament and push out their name. When you see it? Tell me if you see it, Jamaica. Jamaica, may I ask you a question? Have you seen Jamaica DPP, whether it is Paula Llewellyn when she was in office, or Claudette Thompson? Have you seen her serious about the job that she has been employed to do and be a DPP with transparency and balance? Not be a DPP for JLP, that if you have the PNP members of parliament lose their guns by whatever circumstances, you charge them. But when the GLP member of parliament committed even worse and losing more guns, you don't charge them. You see, this is happening in St. Kitts and Nevis. You don't see that. Here is the name that the DPP push out. Now, look. Number 1, Honorable Fitzroy Eddie, Magistrate Judiciary. Sergio N. Gla, Ricky Lenrick Lake, Rutilin Harris, Oral Brandy, Stedman Truss, Albert Garden, Pamela Martin. No, the DPP pushed them out. You see, the DPP, they worry about laws that need to be created to protect politicians, you understand, from hurting their character. Eh? The DPP no business with that. You found yourself a foul to the law. You have to answer to the law. Who cares? Who cares about your character? If you care about your character, go into the court and defend your character. That's where you're supposed to defend your character. Now, look at this lovely DPP. Combating corruption and maintaining public trust. Now, Paula Llewellyn, while she was there, did not maintain public trust. Claudette Thompson, who is the protege of Paula Llewellyn, simply is not combating corruption and maintaining public trust. So Claudette Thompson will never ever do this like what this DPP do. But let me talk to you now. Claudette Thompson, hear what this DPP is saying that really embarrassing you and your office and then the GLP and criminal who want to normalize the corruption. Hear what this DPP is saying. Open quote. I wish to reiterate the importance of these declarations in combating corruption and maintaining public trust. Claudette Thompson, you are not in it to maintain public trust. No. Were I to fail, this is what the DPP is saying, were I to fail to follow through on my warning of certain prosecution, not only would the credibility of my office be damaged. So let me say to you, Claudette Thompson, the credibility of your office is damaged. You hear what the DPP said? You hear what the St. Kitts and Navy DPP said? Let me read back that over to you. Claudette Thompson, I want you to listen to this. If I wish to reiterate the importance of these declarations in combating corruption and maintaining public what? Trust. Were I to fail to follow through on my warning of certain prosecution, not only would the credibility of my office be damaged, but it would also set a harmful precedent that laws can be disregarded without consequence. And this is the reason why Andrew Holness is behaving like this. Because you did not hold Andrew Holness accountable. Claudette Thompson has not held Andrew Holness accountable. And this is what this DPP is saying. And this is the difference between St. Kitts DPP and Jamaica DPP. Claudette, you hear what the St. Kitts DPP said? The St. Kitts DPP said, were I to fail to follow through on my warning of certain prosecution, not only would the credibility of my office be damaged, but it would also set a harmful precedent that laws can be disregarded without consequence. And this is why you have Darrell Vaz can breach procurement, direct procurement process, and cannot explain how he spent the $1.4 billion. What this is saying, Claudette Thompson, you not doing anything, your office not holding them accountable, your office has lost credibility. And you have emboldened them to continue in their wrongdoing. That is the reason why I have to read this document tonight. This document is sent to you, Claudette Thompson, that if you fail to execute the task that you ought to execute, not only that you put your office in disrepute, but you also embolden them to continue. And this is why you have Andrew Holness, Darrell Vaz is operating like wild cowboy in the Wild West. where it comes to taxpayers' money and lack the care, using it as campaign financing, and also converting millions and billions of dollars to your personal convenience. Now look at this. These charges will carry the full weight. You know, hear that now? Hey, look here. Me say the DPP. I love this DPP. You hear what this DPP said? These charges will carry the full weight of the Integrity in Public Life Act, just like how we have the Integrity Commission Act, with potential fines of up to 30,000, right? And remember, say US dollar, you know, or imprisonment for up to 3 years. Uno si said the DPP and play. Now, let me ask you, Claudia Thompson, can you do something like this? Can you go on that moral horse and ride proudly? No, you can't, because you are corrupted. The system that put you there is corrupted. And so then you have to work for the piper because of the system that puts you there. The system that puts you there is corrupted. So then you are there to protect the status quo of criminality. This should have you embarrassed, but I don't expect you to be embarrassed because you are fully lined with corruption. This should serve as a stark reminder of the seriousness with which the federal government viewed non-compliance with this law. Mighty, 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 mighty God, Jamaica, if you look on what we are presenting and showing you, Jamaica, that much needed to be done. Andrew Holness had emboldened himself. Don't sign the code of conduct. Can't explain his wealth. Statutory declaration cannot be certified. Darrell Vaz cannot explain as it relates to the 110 school buses and show the receipt. He cannot be transparent. And so DPP, you have allowed him to continue in his wrongdoing. You have emboldened him. You have cried now shame on the DPP office. And I will not hesitate to say that the DPP is 100% a political operative. Now, according to the DPP Summit press release, while it was not my desire that any should perish by way of prosecution, the DPP office is compelled to enforce the law to preserve the integrity of our public institution. Let me ask you, Claudia, is the DPP office in Jamaica is compelled to enforce the law to preserve the integrity of our public institutions? Are you ensuring that that being done? Now, I can report to the public that while as last year, November 2023, compliance was in the region of 14 to 18%. As of today, the compliance of public officials has achieved what? At the very least, a very commendable 90%. What this goes to show you, Claudette, that when you discipline them, they stay in line and they will not repeat. You see what the data is showing you right here? I can report to the public that while as last year, November 2023, compliance was in the region of 14 to 18%, because They behave out of the way, you know, and a boy bad. But since the DPP discipline them and prosecute them, the DPP say now, as of today, the compliance of public officials has achieved, at the very least, a very commendable 90%. Take that away. Let us bring in melting pot.
Thank you, Sir Lord. Thank you, Sir Lord Byron. Yeah, you make a significant, you know, an intro into the DPP. Yeah. First, I want to ask you, Sir Byron. I know, but I just want to ask you so you can tell Jamaican. Who appointed the DPP in Jamaica?
Andrew Holness.
Okay. Here you go. Now, I am saying this to all my listeners tonight, truly. If you have a country that does not have a prime minister but have a crime minister, then the DPP is a criminal as well. Because he might appoint her. Now in St. Kitts, they have prime minister. That's why the DPP down here can act in accordance to the rules and regulation of our office and uphold the law. But in Jamaica, where we don't have a prime minister, but we have a crime minister, then we won't have a DPP. Because she's unpicked. She will carry out the work of Andrew Holness and not the work of Jamaica and Jamaicans. So we have a problem right here and then. And if you look at even overfeed, him saying Dennis Strong over there, you know? But Dennis Strong not qualified even for the job. But him send him there because he want to have somebody in the head of feed who can relate back to him as to what is going on with the investigation. But why would Andrew Holness want to know what is going on with the investigation? It's because Andrew Holness knows him a criminal and him fraud the system and him cannot explain him wealth. So him send a unpicked man for head feed so that him can carry out the corruption same thing we are doing at the DPP office. Jamaican, we have to take the bull by the hand now, you know, and ask for resignation of all of these garbage where Andrew Holness put there. Because this Claudette Thompson, she not qualify, you know. Just look on her, she's the beast that we speak about. This big biceable head woman come out, uglier than Paula Llewellyn. Because Andrew always choose some ugly people to carry out them corruption work. Yeah, no disrespect or offense to woman, but my DPP would have to look more fashionable, look more enticing on the eyes. This is a whole piece of bicep bull Andrew put in the DPP office. She no care none at all how we want style her because she know for a fact that she's big and ugly. And she's carrying out the ugly corruption of Andrew Holness. Now, why Andrew Holness would want to seek update and throw by fit? I ask this question, yeah? But I know the answer. What would cause the crime minister to want to know what is happening as it relates to the ongoing investigation at PID? God, this guy is not a prime minister, you know. I now address him as not prime minister. He is a crime minister, and that is why Jamaica is under so much corruption. It's head by this guy. This guy is leading all the various corruption activity that is taking place in Jamaica. This guy and his wife thief the amount of money unbelievable and run all type of Ponzi scheme and shell company. How can Juliet size 14 Holness have so much money and do so much development across the length and breadth of Jamaica? Where did Juliet size 14 Holness get all these money from? That she's bragging about one complex value 800 million when she have several more. Where did the Holness them get all these monies? That's the $1 million question, you know. And when they don't have, you know, a working DPP, then Andrew Holness will get away with this. Juliet Holness will get away with it. And that's why they unpick these people. Yeah? Because here it is now, you know. Them attorney wrote to Dennis Strong, who is the head of PID, but Dennis Strong was unpicked by the crime minister to be head of PID. So it's merry-go-round circle right there, so. Yeah? Because the crime minister, attorney at law, them are wrote to the crime minister and pick head of it. What is Andrew, crime minister Holness, trying to find out as it relates to the ongoing investigation? But, so it shows that even if it get a tangible amount of Andrew corruption, feed the financial investigation division is now being corrupted. Once you have Dennis Chung there, it is corrupted. Once you have Claudette Thompson as the DPP, the office is also corrupted. And everybody now formulate and participate in the corruption. Because I hear you call out a few names like Pumbaz and Andrew. But you have to add Juliet, you have to add Tough Tongue, you have to add Edmund Bartlett, him move like snake on the grass, him have a bag of money when thief. You have to add Deadman Mackenzie. Yeah? Them that the top of Norris, you know. Nasty thinking dirty crab, member of money laundering, him doing deal with corruption, you have to add him too. Yeah? Muma Cow, you have to add all of them. It's a garbage party, again tie, you have to add him. Him an outlawed criminal. Remember, I'm a 13-year-old, you know. Abduct her, you know. And then turn out and rape her. And you know, so when the affidavit come from a place like England, credible justice system, where them people, when them make an affidavit, you know, it have to be very, very 100% authentic. When it come to Jamaica, what the DPP now Paula will do with it? She threw it in a file 13. That is disregard for the United Kingdom justice system. She fling it in a file 13 because she have to protect everybody. Now, recent development show you say this guy Agintine in a serious problem. With the Silvera case, we are look on some things, you know. We did have something long time, you know. I don't know if we did have it, you know, Sir Byron. They text message with this girl, Kerry. Got me have it long time, you know. Did you have it?
Oh, it just went upstairs. It's coming.
Okay, yeah. But when you look, you know, say Agintai in a serious problem. Agintai a mafia. Agintai a criminal. He's an abductor and he's a pedophile. He's a rapist. Yeah? And the DPP down at Jamaica protect him. No, when you have a DPP working on behalf of the citizens, being paid by taxpayers, but providing shelters for these criminals is a serious indictment on the justice system. Yeah? When you look on that text message with Agintai and him complicit them, who is trying to fabricate and muddy water as it relates to Giles and Silvera case, this a cut and dry Agintai to get arrested like no. Agintai pay over 2,800 United States dollars to the so-called friend of Melissa Silvera, where the woman tell a bag of lie. Bag of lie. And them a formicate and solidify all them various activity to wipe out the name of Silvera. No, I know the DPP must call them listen certain program. They must know of these new development. I'm here sitting down and watching and waiting with bated breath to see if they will move toward this criminal Agintai. This guy has done so much thing with all the police car, them 650 million. Jamaica don't benefit from that, you know. Don't benefit from that. I remember this guy has done so much things in the past, unbelievable. You understand? But he's been provided a shelter by the DPP, which work in tandem with the crime minister. Yeah? I am hearing now Juliet Wallace come out and making reference that, you know, it's a company in St. Lucia own the land, Kobe. Oh, she know all of that. How does Juliet size 14 Wallace know all of that? that there's a company in St. Lucia that own Melissa Silvera land, Kobe. Because she come out a ball about, you don't know her name, the people them title, you know. But people remember, there was a company in Admat, and when you peel the veil, a wholeness you see underneath it. At the same, because once you see Agintai, I do the work behind the scene for them, you know. Remember, Agintai have to work for them, you know. Because this is how the crime minister works. This is when the affidavit come at Jamaica for Agintai, his protection was Andrew Holness and the DPP. No, he have to turn around and do back something for Andrew Holness, you know. And size 14, you know. And this is how I do now in the Silvera case. Yeah, I repay them. God, and the labor right them take out the people. Yeah? Because it show everybody around it a labor right. Remember, say, Agintai, one of the first man go up on the scene before even police reach there. Who remember that? When Melissa Silvera died tragically that year, Agintai was on the scene before even police. Why was Agintai there? $1 million question to be asked. Agintai, can you answer why you front the murder scene before police? And then Agintai moved the body to Archer, you know, and then a GLP entity. They saw them do what them to do with the body. But me know, if I me a dryland, Silvera, me not going on a plea bargain with the Arikwashi liar. This was cooked up. Here, cook it up. Hey, this nasty kleptocratic regime, where in a Jamaica, where I run Jamaica, led by a crime minister. I now stop to that. This regime is destroying Jamaica for their own purpose, gain of wealth. People remember, you know, Kobe have one of the deepest depth of water, you know. Any cruise ship, anything can come, there's a logistic hub. And they are fighting for it. And they have done their very best to attain it. And put it under a St. Lucia name company. That's size 14. Your head big and dunce. I be a mortgage in your head. When you run out with that, you don't have no say expose yourself. Here. If me not involved in nothing, me not seek to investigate who own the place and which part them there. Me I tell you that. Me I distance myself all together once and for all. The mere fact you can come out and a state to Jamaican that it a St. Lucian company own Kobe and them name them on the woman title. Me don't know how you do your investigation, you know. And why you seek to do your investigation. But the same thing mirrored Admat in St. Lucia. Nobody never state police. You have to peel off the veil. And then you find the oldest name them each up underneath it. Here? So right now, you know, Jamaica people now have to wise up to where I'm going with them. From them two nastiness here, you know. Because them are nastiness. The crime minister and size 14 holiness. Them are nastiness. They are corruptors. Them have all gunman pastor work for them. And a pedophile called Edgerton Newman will rape a 12-year-old. And then you surround them, you know. They only can't get anything good out of the leadership of the country. Because we don't have no leadership of the country. We have nastiness around the country. The Speaker of the House is a nastiness. The man will say my Prime Minister is a crime minister. He's a criminal. And Jamaica must wise up to this. There are too much people participating in their wrongdoings. Even civil society people. Yeah. Jimmy Cliff daughter involved in it, you know. And this query, I don't know if I done query. Family member, you know. But 90% possibility is done query. Family member. I remember having time. I want to done query also, you know. Over there, so, you know. Yeah, and the reason why them have to move aggressively towards dry land, Silvera. If him did up on the ground, him Agentine couldn't steal the election over there. Yeah. But Jailan and him grew up as we know. And Jailan put him trust and confide in him as a friend. Because all of them are politicians, they meet and greet one another. Some of them all play tennis, lawn tennis right now with each other. From both sides, you know. Lawn tennis, my people. That's not supposed to happen when you work for your party and you're working against a criminal, corrupted party. You're not supposed to mix and mingle with them. But some people are playing lawn tennis with them. I won't call no name. Yeah. So when we look on the whole landscape of a political spectrum, it not shape good and it not look good. Too much stake play in it to deal with corruption. Yeah. And we have to call a spade a spade. We have to, as patriotic Jamaican, there is too much illegal activity happening in Jamaica since this administration, this kleptocratic regime take over. United States is saying all type of variants about Jamaica. Down in the island, in the Caribbean, they are saying the same thing. No, that don't look good for island like Jamaica. That once had such a prestige, pride all over the world. Known to be paradise. Where is the paradise? Paradise gone. Right now, without an administration change, the paradise now going to come back. I yield back the floor to you, Sir Lord Byron.
Wonderful melting pot. Right. Love the punch. You know, what a sad thing, melting pot, as it relates to the situation with Jail and Silvera. Right. But as you said, and which I, mentioned the same thing, right? I don't know circumstances that I would have taken a pre-bargain and I left it there. Now, Jamaica, I want for you to lend me your ears. I have done a research as it relates to a speech that Andrew Holness made. And Jamaica, listen to me. At the end of the research, I have to literally cry. Why you hear me, Jamaica? I have done the research. And at the end of the research, tears run from my eyes as it relates to how the Jamaica Labour Party politicians abuse poor people. And basically undermine, not only that they abuse you, right, as it relates to denying you upward mobility, one, denying you education, but they continue to ravish to make sure that they live extremely comfortable and you remain in poverty. It is so vicious as it relates to the Labour Party coming out with lies, saying that Jamaica poverty had reduced from 18% to 7.5%. This is how vicious and vindictive they are while they are laughing at you. This is the clip that caused me to do this research. Let us hear what the Prime Minister has to say to the poor and needy people. Listen to this. It is sad. Not this. Not this.
Not this.
Oh, we're coming from top. Chronological sequence. Here. Listen to this. Couldn't just get into that, so. Right? And this is what the Prime Minister has to say to the poor and needy as it relates to a poor healthcare system, a poor education system, and extrajudicial killings. It's just unbelievable. And in terms of what the Prime Minister has done with the poor, it's at the bottom. Right? So let me just play to show you where I'm coming from. And I'm telling you, Jamaica, it's time for you to wake up. I am going to go into a chronological sequence with this, and I want you to look at what I'm doing. It is vicious.
Shock you to learn that since 2018, our birth rate has fallen by 24%. You need to be growing by at least 2.1% to be at replacement. I'm speaking to the most productively fertile generation. And by the response, I know it is a topic that is of serious interest, but bear with me. So we're down 24%. Surprisingly, but counterintuitively, there's a view that, well, that means, well, your education budget should be reduced. You don't have to worry about, funding all kinds of social services. But it means less people to support the pension system, which one day you will need a pension system to support you. It means less people available for the labor force. How are we going to grow? If you layer inefficient bureaucracy on a tightening labor pool, what is going to happen is that wages are going to go way up and productivity is going to go way down. It's a serious social issue that we face. So I am very happy when I hear Jamaicans who have migrated saying, you know what, I want to come back home. We need to stimulate a net return, a net gain of talent back into Jamaica. Look, I know some of the things that I'm saying challenge your outlook and how you see things. But we can't continue to see things the same way we have seen them for the last 50 years. They have not served us well.
We are going to get back.
We need to have a different thinking.
Jamaica, head boy is on the line, and I want to give head boy. Okay, let me just release him from my headpiece here. All right, Ed boy is on the line, and I want to give Ed boy an opportunity to speak on the subject that we have just spoken on, and then we get back to this. Ed boy, come in.
You can hear me?
Yes.
Good night to you and Melting Pot, and good night to your wife as well.
Blessings.
Blessings.
You know, this DPP from St. Kitts, Adelaide Smith. Well, by the way, he's no longer DPP.
Yes.
Because when this guy was appointed DPP, let me tell you, man, this man started swinging hard, Him not care who you be, and he made it clear to them, you didn't appoint me. I was appointed by the Public Services Commission under the advice of the Attorney General in consultation with the PM and the opposition leader. So I am not employed to the government. I'm employed to the people. So this this integrity in public life was a legislation that started around 2018, 2020, but it never really came into effect until about 2023. Yeah, and the DPP, who by the way, the Antigua, was when he started working, people started cringing in their boots. Yeah, this man is a fearless civil servant, and a civil servant who didn't care who you were, didn't care your political persuasion, didn't care. In fact, the DPP had a case that was in his own office where a junior prosecutor had violated the law in which she was an accomplice in a matter with a criminal. And immediately he published her name and caused her to be arrested.
Good.
So when you're dealing with people of integrity, and I wish, as the comments, and I concur with the comments from Melting Pot and yourself, that this shows you that you need people who have integrity to serve in public life. Because if you have no integrity, if you can easily be bought out, if you can be bought out on the basis of friendship, politics, and lodge, then what is the sole purpose of you serving? Now, those names you mentioned are prominent names in St. Kitts and Nevis, you know, right? When you talk about Neplec, that's in Nevis Electricity Company, you know.
Yes.
Yes. When you talk about Nevis Tourism Authority, that is like our version of Jamaica Tourist Board.
Yes.
So these people were expected to be reporting on anything their income and their assets, and they were in fact delaying the reporting. And many of them, after he dealt with them in the manner in which they needed to be dealt with, they had to sort out their affairs. And I can assure you now, they're not playing no more.
All right.
They realize yes, this DPP has set a trend. And to tell you, the man gets so frustrated. He said, look here, if I cannot do my job, I will no longer stay in the position. And he resigned.
Okay.
So I want to concur with that.
Okay. Let me ask you a question, Ebo. If Adlai, the St. Kitts DPP, was in Jamaica, as it relates to you, know him, and your experience as it relates to, right, the no-nonsense person, what do you think would happen as it relates to Andrew Holness and Darrell Vaz?
No, man, he would have preferred charge against them. He would have already recommended that they be charged, and then he would have also recommended that in the instance of the tax evasion and those things, that they return the monies to the public purse. This is a series. So those are the two recommendations they would have given. First, that they be charged, and whatever is considered to be funds that would have been garnered from the public, that they would have been given. A matter of fact, they have the asset forfeiture law, which is the Poker Procedures of Criminal Act.
Yes.
He would have used that to his advantage. He does not have a poker, you know. There's no poker in the Eastern Caribbean jurisdiction, you know.
Yes.
So imagine if he had
and the poker, for better understanding, it is the Proceed of Crime Act. So we just want the people to understand.
The unexplained wealth orders. Yeah. So
yes.
The unexplained wealth orders would have been able to say, okay, you are earning this amount of money a year. Where you getting the rest of the money from? Right? It's so in regards to people who have built $800 million apartment and can't tell you where them get their money, he would have dealt with them immediately. Okay. I tell you now, when this man was appointed, people start cringing at them boots, you know. But guess what happened? He had an attorney general who was in full support of him.
Okay.
So that is the difference, you know. When the system is allowed to function without any political clogging, without any political interference, then civil servants and public servants will do their job. But as long as there's political interference, they can't do the work.
Okay. So let me ask you for your opinion. Sorry to interject here, but let me ask you for your opinion as it relates to making a comparisons between the St. Kitts DPP and the Jamaica DPP. Right? Would you say that based on what happened in St. Lucia, where the St. Kitts DPP, right, had passed judgment onto those people, right, and the Jamaican DPP, where we have the Integrity Commission investigators as it relates to illicit, 10 of them who probably dealing with illicit enrichment, would you go to the extreme? Or would you be measurably saying that based on you know the difference between making the comparison between Jamaica and St. Kitts, do you believe that this DPP is corrupted?
Are you referring to the current or the former?
Well, I am referring to Jamaica system of DPP between Paula Lugalin and Claudette Thompson.
The system that they operate in does not give them the. For example, let's refer to Claudette. I believe Miss Thompson wants to act. Quite frankly, I believe she's a DPP who really has come to the job to serve. But as I said to you, there's a political clogging now, and there's political interference. Now, this is not to cover because she, within her own office, has the ability to act. But knowing the system in Jamaica, I believe she's coming up against some serious hurdles to act. Some very serious hurdles. Because if you don't have the support of your AG, you don't have the support of your Justice Minister. What? Remember that EPP in and of herself is really limited by her power. Yeah? She can only go by what is given to her by the FID, what is given to her by the police in terms of investigations. And so she can only act upon the evidence. When you have a police force and an FID who has been sorely corrupted, meaning they recruit people who are them friend and come along, yeah, and put them in those positions, sensitive positions, where they can actually control the evidence. To connect the point, Mystic, I want to connect the point to what Uncle Melton Pot said. If you look at the case, the affidavit case against such man in St. Mary, he was appointed Minister of National Security to question the case, you know?
Wow.
Remember that was where he was first and he became, when they won the election, you know? The affidavit, he was aware of it in 2015. Because in 2015, the election did not run yet. The election was February 25, 2016. I want to remind people, you know, he became Minister of National Security in March of 2016. The first thing he did was to quash that case. That was his first action. The second action was, remember, he made up a gun case where him gun missing with a man down at Ocherius, an Indian man.
Oh, yes,
yeah?
yes.
And apparently they were given the files, and them said the officers said they were on their way to Junction, and the file blew out of the vehicle around Junction. You remember that?
Something in that regards, yeah.
Yeah, man, remember that.
Yeah. So this is to show you the level of corruption that you're dealing with. So this man has painstakingly was placed at National Security to deal with the issue. But why was he removed unceremoniously from National Security? It was not the used car scandal, you know. It was not the firearm license scandal, you know. The UK, and I am going to reveal this to people now. The first people are going to hear this. The UK, out of this case, your young lady's house was firebombed. Do you hear what I said to you?
Whoa.
How did she get to the stage where she gave the affidavit?
And hold on, because I want for the people to understand which young lady you are making reference to. Are you making the reference to the young lady who accused Montague of sexual molestation? That is the case you are referring to.
That's the case I'm referring to.
Okay, we just want that to clear. Go ahead.
So when the affidavit was proffered, he started to say it was a political shakedown and she was looking money. But how could a young lady who's serving in the British Army, who has her nice flat in London, and Uncle Melton partner, to get a flat in London is not cheap. Yeah?
Wow.
It's not cheap, so she was quite comfortable. Now she was going through a counseling session, and it's in the counseling session that she brought out these things. And the army, the counseling section of the UK army, referred her to the legal department, who said to her, gave her legal advice and said you must file an affidavit against the man.
All right.
So
hold on, Edward. What was her age at the time the molestation occurred?
It started around 13.
Whoa.
It started around 13, 14, between 13 and 14, upwards to 18.
So Epstein business Montague go along with.
But this is one of them. If the people in Western St. Mary are truthful to you, and if you're looking at chat, anybody from Western St. Mary can tell you, this is one of the multiple cases. What? This is one of the multiple. Aginta is not the only one, you know. there's also somebody who served as a mayor once in St. Mary. I'm not calling anybody name now. Who? His brother. Yes, and I know Melting Pot know who me at that. Yeah? His brother and him were accused of the very said thing in relation to a high school student, a 14-year-old from Richmond, with them lock her up down at the house of Richmond. And they took turns. They used to bring them down a place named Rio Nuevo. Yeah? And because the property was so close to the road, they moved closely to a place now in Galena, which was off the road, round to them private property. And not just only. So this is a consistent thing for them. A consistent thing for those guys. It's a crew of them, you know. It's a crew of them. And I'm saying, as a man who has a wife, and a wife who has children, yeah, or girl children at that, how could I feel good to be associated with anybody who's been accused of these things? And then them come now to be paragons of justice to say them leading protests.
And said they are legislators, saying that they are legislators.
That's why Delroy Chuck cannot have the sex offenders registry published. Because let me tell you what happened. I was referring to UK now. When the girl went to report the matter, because of UK laws, remember we all have the same law. UK is this Privy Council is our final appellate. Because the laws are similar, the UK referred the matter to the High Commission, yes, and asked that the High Commission act. Yes, who was the High Commissioner at the time in the UK? Wasn't it one Alexander Williams?
Yes.
Who is Alexander Williams? Alexander Williams was the brother of the man who ran Indicom.
Pugfoot.
So they did which is Terence Williams, they did everything in their power to quash that case. But what really quashed the case, why the girl did not go forward with it, was that her house was firebombed.
What?
And she requested, right after the affidavit came out, she requested a transfer from the UK, and they sent her to the Middle East and one of the base that they have down there.
Because I have seen the affidavit, you know. I have seen the affidavit. So what you are saying, you're 100% correct?
No, but I mean, all the mistake, you know, we don't do tabloid around here now, because I cannot afford for anybody to be sued. So whatever I say, it must be backed up by facts. This is one, as I tell you, anybody in St. Mary can tell you. The house up in Derry that she referred to, that house up in Derry is known for those kind of activities. Yeah?
Mighty goodness.
Derry and the distance between Derry and Coxpeace, these are lonely places. It's only, as old people say, if bush have ears, I have wall, a wall have I. Yeah? This is the bush. If the bushes could speak in those places, what they used to do to young ladies in the dark. Because when you're going up them road, there's some dark bush road, you know. It's only 4x4 can go up there, you know.
But hold on again. There's also make a shift from Montague. There was some allegations surrounding with Darrell Vaz and also a young lady, right? Teenager.
Yes.
Right, with the allegation of Darrell Vaz involving raping her, right? What you know on that, Edward, where you can give us some insight on.
I'll respond this way to say, show me your company, tell me who you are. Who is Darrell Vaz's best friend in politics?
Montague?
Yes.
Well, I said birds of a feather flock together.
Flock together. And
wow.
Let me tell you, the wife cannot excuse herself from the situation. I'll tell you why. A lot of the times when certain situations would happen, and if the young ladies would be truthful to tell you, the wife in some instances was present.
Jesus.
We are set to be. We are set to be, Edward.
There's a culture in West and East Portland of them picking up 2 or 3 and them have what you call a ménage trois. Yeah? Yeah? I'm telling you, no joke. So these people are who now are coming to tell people about their paragons of justice after they're abusing young ladies in this manner. Yeah? So is that thing along that coastline from St. Ann to Portland, and it's a crew of them, and it's the same crew. It's the same crew. So now that's why one man can get contract to go lease out. So imagine this man, one of the brothers, have a contract for the Houses of Parliament, cooking for the House of Parliament, you know.
What kind of bang around this Ahmed boy? I tell you that tonight.
So you know, so Ribbies get contract to cook for the house. Who is one of the part owner of Ribbies? Now the same man who three young ladies brought cases against him for the same thing.
Mighty goodness.
And all of a sudden the cases were quashed. It's a crew of them who are known sexual offenders in St. Mary. And they benefit from the relationship they have with the Justice Minister. Because the Justice Minister cannot excuse himself from this. You know why? On a weekend, ask the Justice Minister where I'm going to eat and drink.
Sorry, boy. May I tell you?
So I don't want to mash up your program, my brother.
No man, speak. Speak, man. We give you the leverage to speak, man.
I will say that this sort of behavior, it must not be treated lightly. Because, you know, if you speak to some of these young ladies, and my training, a lot of people know me as having banking experience, but my studies was in guidance and counseling. Yeah? And when you speak to these young men, sometimes you sit down with some of them, and I mean young women in Jamaica, across the Caribbean, right? And them tell you some experiences that them go through. You're shocked. These young ladies are hurting. And what them say hurting people do? They hurt people. That is why a lot of the men nowadays, they find that they can't have any genuine relationship with some of these young ladies because they're hurting. They're literally hurting, and they have nobody in which to confide in because they don't know. Remember when they started the Me Too movement, you know, the same girl, what's she name, Professor Nadine? Yeah? When she started the tambourine movement up at the UE campus, why you think they immediately moved to shut it down and then reward her with a position? Because in those Me Too movement, people were telling people, calling prominent politicians' name on the campus who have abused them. And that could not be allowed to come out. Remember, you know, one man, who the $80 million man, yeah, with him sweetheart, they were also mentioning his name.
What?
That was how that thing died down immediately, you know.
What a bungaram?
So it is a series of them, but this is not just, this is the DNA of the Jamaica Labour Party, my friend. This is coming from their godfather, Edward Seaga. You think Edward Seaga used to, that was his behavior?
Huh?
That was his behavior.
So
that was what?
I don't want to put you in any trouble because the way how Tivoli Gardens operate, right? Could it be possible that underage girls being bullied or forced to go to these MPs might be including Edward Seaga as it relates to sexual molestation? I'm just asking.
It is absolutely possible. As somebody who knows West Kingston very good.
Wow.
Go at Denham Town Primary School. I'm not afraid to say when I go. I'm not afraid of nobody. I tell people all the time. As a Muslim, if I die speaking the truth, my space in heaven is guaranteed. Once we not tell no lie. Yeah? So I will speak truth to power wherever they are. And what I'm seeing now, my brother, is a scenario where these guys are using taxpayers' dollars and behaving as if the taxpayers' dollars, they can just pick up anybody, pick me. And remember, it's not just girls. You have over there serial pedophiles who are troubling boys as well.
Mighty goodness.
You have one where you have the loudest mouth. If you go Emancipation Bar, just go to Pegasus and stand up past Pegasus and see if you don't see him Jeep park out there on a Friday night.
What?
When you ask somebody, what the Jeep doing out there? I see the Jeep for myself in 2024 now, so nobody not have to tell me. If you ask them, what is he doing over there? They say, normal thing, just come on the road and pick them up and go for stoning with them.
No, man. I mean, Jamaica is just not a real place, my brother.
No, it is not a real place because these people and what they do, they use their power and they use the fact that they have been in government for so long that they can just pick up the phone and call. So what do you think the purpose of Fitz Bailey was? Why was Fitz Bailey at CTOC for so long? Why has now all of a sudden they disband CTOC? Because he's no longer there. Because they can't control the other persons, some of the other persons who have risen up in CTOC. So that's why they disband the unit, you know? Not just about the finding of the drug, and this was just a smoke screen to get rid of the unit. But they themselves was using the unit to protect them. Because remember now, every conversation, these guys have conversations with the young people on them phone, you know. Them text them, come here, so, me there, so, come up here, so, come around here, so. Yeah? And CTOC has the power to lift the cell phone information and present it as evidence. So that's why he was at CTOC for so long, you know. And I am saying that Fitz Bailey, mark my word, Fitz, you think we have enough on Bobby? You wait till we deal with you come next week.
Don't move, Edward. Don't move. Because you spoke about Fitz Bailey. And there's a particular case that I want to speak on since I have the opportunity and have you here. Now, the situation as it relates to Patrick Bailey, right? Back in the days, Andrew Holness, lawyer, and where Jermaine had been killed. Jermaine Gordon had been killed in his home, right?
No,
Garvin. Yes, Jermaine Garvin has been killed in his home, right? Now, I am as an investigator, there are some things that I'm looking at. Number one, both men were in a confined area, locked away. No forced entry. Now, the incident as it relates to the weapons of choice, right? Knife and gun. From the knife, right? The knife inflicted over 21 or 22 stab, right? As it relates to, Jermaine, and a gunshot wound, right? To the head. Now, we are not hearing anything as it relates to interrogation, as it relates to Patrick Bailey, right? A gun was used, right? No ballistic footprint being mentioned, and no information as it relates to say whether the gun used, was it much as it relates to bullet fragment, if any found, was that much to the weapon that assigned to Patrick Bailey? And if it is not, then a bigger problem. How many persons did actually in the home?
Let me put it this way. There were three individuals present at that home,
What?
including the victim. 3 individuals, including the victim.
Yeah, man.
To the victim, it would be 2. The individual who was present in the home now sits in the Parliament of Jamaica.
But you say to me, hold on there. So there were actually 3 hold on, because my mind just run on something. Hold on. Since you mentioned that, it is rumored that Patrick Bailey and what name?
I sit in MP. Don't say the name.
Okay.
I know what you're talking.
I've had a relationship, had a sexual relationship.
Yeah, man.
He financed that MP. He sent him to school, and the legal practice was between 2 of them.
So hold on.
If you go down,
True.
Hold on the melting pot. Are you saying to us that this person was in the house at the time Jermaine got killed?
Absolutely, and the investigation report would show The file which showed that was submitted to the DPP in 2017.
What?
The gentleman was there. But not only that, let me go further. The weapon, the fragments that they lift from Mr. Jermaine Garvin was the same, matches the same weapon that was used in an incident in Newland in Portmore.
All right, stop right there. Stop right here. Yes, stop right here, Melting Pot. Because let me ask you a question. So, who that weapon assigned to?
That weapon was what you call in the underworld a tool. Yeah, it is only used when it only comes out when it is going to do a job. No, the same sitting councillor was analyzed from Southborough Division. The information is that it is the same weapon that was used. So how can one weapon be fingered across 3 incidents or 2 incidences, and you don't have a concrete evidence as to who did this?
So, based on what you're saying, the possibility exists that he killed by more than that Jermaine was killed by more than one person.
No, what I'm saying is that the weapon that analyzed Mr. Garvin was a same weapon that was featured firstly in an incident leading up to the general elections of 2016 in Newland. You remember when a lady was unalive in her gate because them tell her to take down the flag.
Whoa.
It is the same weapon.
Whoa.
It is the same weapon. And let me tell you how wicked these people are. Why you think them put certain people to make sure that they have diplomatic immunity? You ever ask yourself why them put them in that ministry then?
No, sir. Me never expect at all that tonight was going to be like this.
I never expected it at all. But you're asking the questions and I'm answering them. Yeah? All I have to say, brother, because I don't want to take up any more of the time.
Yes.
Nothing in Jamaica is secret. It is Darrell Vaz who said that. Yes? Nothing is secret. People in Jamaica have people who they confide in, and those people who confide in people have people who them confide in.
Okay.
Yes?
So
nothing is secret.
So it's obvious that the corruption is systemic.
It is systemic, and to be honest, we have never had a justice minister for 15 years. Do you know that Delroy Chuck will be going on now to be justice minister for 15 years at the end of this political term?
Wow.
So why is he as justice minister for so long, and these matters cannot be resolved? Because remember, as justice minister is not just to come out or pass and stiffer penalties, and so it is to also help families who can't get justice.
Sure.
The family of Mr. Garvin, who his family, a lot of them are from St. Ann, you know. Yeah? Wow. His family were big supporters of Hot Neil Lawrence in Northwest St. Ann. And after the incident, they decided they would never vote for the JLP again. Mr. Garvin was no helper. Mr. Garvin was the owner of the home that Mr. Patrick Bailey was living in. And tell him to come tell me otherwise, because I know the facts.
True, head boy.
Boy.
100% correct.
I am numb. That's all I can say to you. That's all I can say to you, head boy. I'm numb.
All the best, brother, Mystic, Pot, and to your wife.
All right. Blessings, my brother.
Blessings.
Right.
Let me go back in class now.
Yeah, man. Walk good.
Yes.
Good.
All right.
And I mean, you know, Sir Byron, head boy come knock the nail on the head, you know. Because we know all who involved in it. Remember the policeman come from out of St. Thomas, you know. We can't tell him name after the year.
But
he come from out of St. Thomas.
Melting Pot, I have been saying, as it relates to, right, the ballistic footprint, you understand, should be able to resolve the situation from long time. Why the case is not moving?
Well, you know, see, the case corrupt from the beginning, man. We ever call Junior Gully and say my gardener, you don't have no more name for him, but Gully. That alone supposed to send with the nastiness, you know, a prison, you know. Yeah, I'm glad all my people them in the chat, them bright, you know, man, them sharp and them thing, and them know who they did with him.
I see the people in the chat.
Yeah, man. Him name a fling out as that boy talk, so them know.
Yeah,
and we know a long time.
I'm not going to call it. I see the people are fling out there. But I mean, the people are smart, you know. Remember, you know.
Them know a woman. Them know a woman, and them correct. Them correct. Right? Them correct, Byron. Them sharp, them correct.
See, we have Sister P and now the giant the dance, yeah. The dance are hot. Sister P. Ranking. Dance are hot.
And this is a pull up.
All of pull up.
No. I want to ask the question. And sometimes 2 minutes are bright, we kind of full, but may still ask. With all this corruption, the Prime Minister, no about them about them a corruption.
You think systemic, man? I mean, you the head cook buckle washer.
All right, the councillor who then kill this I'm a half brother. Where I put it now? Me and him share one brother.
Okay.
My mother have one son with him. He named Parks.
Yeah, man, I half brother. You're right. You're half brother.
Yeah, yes. Me and him are a brother, but my brother and him are brother.
Yes.
You understand that?
Yes.
Right. Me and him go school. Me know him good. Come from Bagwalk. In front of Indian Church. Them as Parks. My brother, my bigger brother. Right? And all of what Ed boy say are correct. Because some people can't tell lie.
But remember, say Ed boy well measurable, you know. Well measured. Well measured.
And we know.
So, yes.
If somebody here, and Andrew Holness is not here right now, somebody must hear and tell him to play this tape and listen it. And looking at himself, and not believe to say 1 day, 1 second, 1 minute, them are going to pay for them. 10 is dead left in one daughter. Eh? That young man works so hard. Eh?
Wow.
And you kill people and you take them and no lock up jail and things. Nobody pan hurt can tell me say jail and Sylvia to your wife. Nobody, they can't talk.
Yes.
But me not believe them. Can't feed them out.
Well, we see some evidence. We see some evidence, Sister P, the rollout as it relates to a communication between Bobby Montague and this lady to tarnish the name. I mean, look, the thing is just it's really serious.
That is the reason why, no matter what situation we are in, just call upon the word of God and talk to God like we are talk to me. In due season, he might give reward. You know what happened to them now? The tears of the children, those kids that don't know how old they are. You left them desolate. You take their mom. There is no more mom if you call. No, you're taking their dad. You don't feel like it about trauma upon them. You know, feel like those kids cry more time. You know, feel like when they're not coming and mommy, I show mommy my book. You know, feel like and their father will come pick them up. We don't feel so they pity they cry and bawl. And when family member abuse them and not give them what they want, kind of pick me, want last come, who may not give. Because you don't want to have not give. You think nobody can love nobody like you love your one pity them. Especially when they're little, because you understand them. The one they say no name chicken no give me because I no want it. So Uncle Byron, the tears of those children is upon them. So they have to try to do something because their flesh bite them, ticks, chink in them body, their conscience can't give them. So them have to come out, and the more them come out, then a sinking sand, and more the evidence does come to your plane.
Wow.
So that is the right way we just respect, let's praise God, ask him to show we. And he just said, sit back, my sister and brother. Watch how God work. Watch how me I go work on them. And them I bring down their own self, you know. And them a share them their own self, you know. If I 1 minute before no dead, you shall know what you not go do, not go eat, you don't know what. Me not see people cannot kill people for power and land. You ban council land and look what thousands and millions of people dead left land. We Jamaican live here. This land wasn't for us. This is for the Indian. And then carry through Pacific come back on left way. But then the Indian they know. Them a left land gone. Where's our great grandfather? Them not gone, they cannot with them.
Exactly.
Eh? And you go kill a person for piece of land. You go kill a person for your territory. Look at Iran. The man of Iran say him a whole and him change the flag. I tell them he know say I him change Iran flag. When they know? When there? When there? But they tell you, but mistake, melting pots. And Mrs. Mistake, let me tell you now. And how when I chat, listen, let us, no matter what circumstances, give God thanks. God work in a mysterious way. It's wonders to perform. Just left everything to him. He will know what he's doing 2 times. He see 1,000 years in his sight. It's like an evening gone. So that's God on time.
God on time.
Man, did you? Andrew Holness in your cabinet. Tell me about this. You can't find one member of parliament in an Andrew Holness cabinet. We're not tainted. And people still vote for them.
Christ.
All because it not come and do away. All because the richer than do away. And you, Mr. Andrew Holness, you're a young man. You say pick me a 24% drop. Breed your wife. You have 2 big sons. Tell them to go breed woman. And then say, yeah, one concubine when you breed yet now, no pick me. Go breed him. As he drop out when you breed him again. And not top breed him. Right? Not top breeding kind of young and can't take breed. As in queer 6 weeks, you breed him back. You go have picnic when some to since now, I see Andre play upon his 21-year-old young 21-year-old. I remember from man or woman broke their hip and sit down a Cornwall Regional Hospital in a chair with a broken hip from when to when. 24 baby dead. And I don't watch. I want to don't know how to play the mother them. Nurses and doctor or the technocrat. I feel demonstrate to them and walk over dead body. Them I feel get CPR upon ground. I don't know. Read. Vaz. Where you part of your cabinet, get one granddaughter. When daughter must have a picnic. And we see them on Facebook or whatever. And Maya Minga go have it. And she a show off with her blue teddy bear. Maya Minga going on Jubilee. Now we are Jamaica. Stop it, sir. We're not done. A young man them go fit die a breed of human them. You know murder them. Answer them pipe gun. Told you. Oh, you tell people about fear people. Who will breed them? Eh? Who will breed them? Well, one time, me see a campaign and one girl, one woman ball out, big watch it, Andrew. So you have to pick or use you up.
Sister P hot
use
tonight.
your brother and make some picnic. You cannot introduce young people to go and picnic in a what? Where? Which school them are go? How them all feed them? What them all give them? A young lady now go get pregnant. We now wish about anything can happen because me a woman and me a pick me too. Anything can happen. No hospital is a certain death. It's a body bag. And you encourage people to go breathe, sir. What kind of heart you have? Brother, the best thing, me give you advice. You've done your damage already and it's already done. Can't take back. Just resign and plan to go to prison.
Exactly.
And find one country down Africa. We are on a back bush part. When no light, no internet on it. And go hide. because you must go down.
Same so.
All of these things we are come out for uno. Uno have to go down. The tears alone are bring you down. So you could have lodge, you could have cottage, you could have giant this, you could have giant that. No matter where no one giant. God nah sleep. God come true for me. As we sit down here, so God come true for me personally. And me know me not giant no lodge. Me not giant no Baphomet. And he come true for me. So we know more come true for everybody else who believe and trust in him. And just wait for him. He said, make wait and murmur not. And he know him going to help people and he going to bring you down. You not go shame, you not go shame. Probably plenty of you going to kill yourself. You not turn up there. Prayer going to take you down. You wicked, you know wicked, you know cruel, you know heartless, you don't have nothing about to know. For just land and money and greed. It make my last one going on. Mr. Prime Minister, the Bible says a man that is born of a woman have but a short time to live. So no matter where you creep and where you scrape and what you do, you must go down. What we have a day if you go under. So we have to eat and drink and be merry and live good. But you Mr. History now serve you well, sir.
Mm-hmm.
True. Talk it truth. All Mr. Jeremy when not kill if in young pitney. When you forget that pitney there, when I don't pitney them a big pitney now. Big size growing up pitney. When he bar for his father, them the tears there, it's a police boy orders of for no sacrifice him with Kevin Smith in Mama Ton Zambi.
Mm-hmm.
One boy picked no sacrifice him. Sometimes I see him at the lady me say, no, sir. You want to take it so hard. So you don't think you're not survive? You don't take innocent people, the police, them, you know, cover them and tell them if you shoot, you kill. And left too much pitney without father, wife without husband, mother without son. Jesus Christ, God Almighty, want to know. Just with power. God have power, you don't have power. You don't care all the sun, the moon, the star, the breeze, the rain, nothing. Melissa come and brush you and so on. Everything you tell life about Melissa. Melissa this, Melissa that. And now again, you know, say because of the crisis down so. Right? Everything of Melissa. Everything of Melissa. But you see, this a year, one of them come and go walk up Kingston, you know, go to the west, that come in the east, and the central, sorry for you. Anyway, and I heal back.
Blessings.
Blessings.
Right, love it. Well, Melting Pot, right?
Yeah, man.
I'm going to have to give you the show to close us out because we're going to leave the best for another day, right?
Definitely.
So please close us out, Melting Pot.
With all honor and respect, Sir Lord Byron.
Bless
Yeah,
you.
man. But tonight, you know, even this case here with Patrick Daly, it's clearer to the people, you know.
Oh yes.
Because we know so the man from out of East, him pull the trigger.
And
And you know the lover.
some of the things, Melting Pot, I didn't even know. You understand?
Yeah,
Is Ed Boy who guide us into that direction. So cool.
Drop it 1 and 2 times. Drop the sound 1 and 2 times.
Yeah.
But now the people might get it clearer. The man from out of East, you know. Him come pull the trigger, you know, and the lover do the stabbing. Now I say no more. The lover do the stabbing because remember, you know, a junior house, you know, and them in there make them love, you know, and them no want junior to take the house off of them, you know. So the lover do the stabbing. Simple as that. But what is so traumatic? The head boy come make we learn of tonight. So the man them, the big old nasty raping man them over so. Them wife dead when them a rape the little girl pick to them. The madu man, the wood vase, the whole of them dead with the man them a rape off a little pick to them. You know, see, some evil people, that's why them call over the vase land.
So
Because them go on with too much.
So some Epstein business are going on?
Epstein business are gone. And that's why the investigation with me and you run on that thing there were linked to a certain doctor, man.
Yeah, we know say the Seaga, man. We know say the Seaga.
We have to look on that.
Yeah.
With
Yeah,
open eyes.
We're going to dig it again, Melting Pot.
We have to go visit back that car. We have a whole heap of credence information in that, you know. We are linked to the atrocity of young people, them, girls and boys. You understand? But over there, so, you know, Montague and the Vars, them mash up between St. Mary and Portland, you know. Mash it up with them coke and them undesirable feeling for the young kids, them. You can imagine, man, can my wife go watch him sexually assaulting minor. The whole of them figure out prison. And Jamaica people who now have to wise up to the nasty, kleptocratic Labour Party who now have to endorse because of all them do is steal money with them handout. Steal money with them handout. It's like you have a bad dog and you know every back and raise nice and cause commotion and excitement. But you just throw a tin of sardine, but you know what need, you know. You just pour it so him can't get the juice out of it. And that them add to the people. You understand? Mighty God, what's happening to Jamaica is unbelievable. And you have civil society group like the church, and them know about it. How can the church, the 70 keep a man like Fitzbailey in there and have him round the pulpit? Eh? When Fitzbailey and nastiness, Fitzbailey protect people who are doing harmful things to Jamaican little boys and girls. Protecting them. I remember when Ed Boy come out and talk, you know. Ed Boy come out and speak from a point of authority. I know that for a fact. You understand? When Ed Boy come out, him no come to tabloid. You understand? When him come and take the mic, you know, brother. It's a performance that you have to sit down and pay respect to. So, we know all of these things here. When them talk about the one, the nasty loudmouth one, they come park up him Jeep, Emancipation Park. A reality. Reality. God, them come scrape out the youth them from out of the gully, you know. Hey, Labour Party have some nastiness tonight. But as Ed Boy said, that come from the Wandan. That come from the Wandan era. I remember a lot of young girls from Tivoli Garden has been abused under these same type of activities, where their parents cannot refuse but hand them over when they are being handpicked. Them watch them from them a grow, a go to school, and as them breast bust in them uniform, so them pluck them like young chicken.
Mighty good.
You understand? A long time we know about this. Then you have a lady who give an interview to what's his name here again? Died now. Yeah? But anyhow, she give that interview to him. I'm going to look up that interview and give. Yeah? And she tell you, you know, when she move out, you know, when she move out at Tivoli, you know, she left everything behind. Yeah? Because not even her daughter knows that she going to live out of the place. Yeah? She went to work and tell her daughter to meet her at a certain place and them never go back there. And she said she don't know where she go, but she decided she have to leave. And she seek refuge to a good Samaritan. Yeah? To a good Samaritan, you know. This thing is not something where just happen now, you know, from Seaga time, and the whole of them come through with the same culture. Now, she thinking dirty bush rat, him not different either, you know. Him don't different either. You understand? So, Jamaica have a problem. Not just only where we are looking with murder and all these things, but pedophile. That is why the right truck don't want to constitute the sex register. Because the register would have shown a lot of these men from their party. Yeah? Dan Query and the whole of them. Yeah? Remember Agentire of Dan Query House? I just see a mouse for a boy I talk about, you know, back cock piece, you know. I mean, no cock piece. Me know cock piece. Yeah, man. at the same house. And then them carry little minors them go, boys and girls. Cause a dark entry car you go up there. Yeah. Remember, you know, even the same 13-year-old, you know, where file the affidavits then again, you know. She tell you the ordeal where she go through, you know. The man brutally, physically beat her up to, you know, and fling her over upon the car bonnet, you know, and do him to do with her, you know. And then him can't satisfy him. Carry her by the schoolyard. Go sleep with her throughout the night, and people don't know what him do with her. Because sometimes he never like talk it. Yeah? Him for go to prison. But as that boy said, them turn him into national security minister. Clean up them little nastiness the way him go on with. Yeah? So you see how the thing I run, Andrew have it run under systematical order. If you do wrong, if me not clean it up, he make you clean it up. When me do wrong, he put in a position to clean up my wrong or to protect my wrong. Jamaica can't run so. Yeah? And if the DPP, as well, head boy said, want to good, but are anti, resign, miss. Because if you don't resign, we're going to beat you. We not stop beat you. Resign the job. Because you must have seen the slaughtering where Paula Lewin observed from with the Titans. Come win a ramp when we are beat them. And if you, because of money, remember you did a long time, you have enough money now, you know. You have more than the average Jamaican. So I don't know why you want to sit down and play the Little Miss Nancy game. Don't play no Little Miss Nancy around here because your head too big for be a Little Miss Nancy. You are very visible in the eyes of melting pot. Do not sit in that hot chair, the DPP seat, and carry out your hanky-panky work. Because you work to rules. You're not working to others. You understand? Yeah. You're working to the rules of Andrew Holness, not the order that your office prescribe you to work under. Yeah? So you're violating the seat of the DPP. Resign if your hands are tied and make the Jamaican people realize, well then, something more fundamental is happening why you have to leave the job.
Exactly.
You cannot work within your confine. You have to understand you work to rules and regulation of the kleptocratic prime minister, nasty Andrew Garbage Holness. Yeah? So we have problem with you sitting there right now because what you do? You stagnate the thing, man. You stagnate it, you know. We have over 3,000 cases, you know. Sit down, pound the desk, you know, and it can't clear. Backlog. Mighty God in our little island. Over 3,000 people. No joke business. Me now make up the numbers. Yeah? Sitting there and them can't go through. Look on Royal Reed. Nasty thinking Royal Reed. You know, him four accomplish them. Yeah? Look how long for them case today. And it's a cut and dry case. I don't know that I mail over it as to what to do with him. Well, people understand where the judge said. Judge said there's no merit in them requesting anything. Case must proceed. Yeah? The case must proceed. But Jamaican people, you can imagine, and this must have come from Agintai and him accomplish them. Because we see him at work in our text message, you know. He's a dangerous guy. Very dangerous. But you can imagine after the young lady filed the affidavits, them bomb her house. Fire bomb her house. These men are outlawed criminal, you know. But Agintai, me I go tell you this, you know. I remember, yeah, when time Fitz Jackson I talk about German killing in a Patrick Bailey house. And the look in your eye and on your face and how your mouth lip go. It's like you have killed Fitz Jackson. You is a piece of shit. And we have to get you out, you know. We have to get you out. And we not just get you out by voting you out, you know. We have to get you out and last you in the prison system. There's a nastiness. And your woman, them will carry a so-called wife, because them they can't be no wife. We will not carry a watch. Or we not deal with the little girl pick them and boy pick them. Unbelievable. Nasty thinking dirty bars. We are criminal. From them idea and knee. Where everybody knows say, him rape and murder Diane Smith. And because, you know, him daddy was a politician at the time, them stretch a hand and pull him to safety from the law. Yeah, and we see who's part them cook up with it, you know. When them are same day in the state in Puerto Rico and all them things, they don't match up. And when them come back and bloom bam blam, them they don't match up. Them don't sink him further. Bars a shit house. And Portland people have to rise up here. Because remember, you know, the bars them come to take the whole of over there, you know. That's why me have to applaud some good work when me here Isaac want deal with for the people them over there. Represent them free of cost. Well done, sir, Isaac. Much respect to that. Yeah, because we want people within the politics spectrum, yeah, not just only to collect a fat salary and go in a parliament and have a fanfare, but to work assiduously for their constituents. To give people, yeah, what they deserve in representation. So I applaud you, Mr. Isaac. Well done, and I hope many more other members of parliament will pursue along that line of giving back to the constituency, helping people who are in need of help in whichever capacity they so desire. Yeah, so big up Isaac. Yeah, but make we look further down now. Yeah, because we see the madhouse. We see the madhouse, you know, wood bars, you know. They in a Miami hospital, I jump up and down like mad ants. Yeah, and I show off the birth of them newborn into the family. What a disgrace on the Jamaica health sector. That's them can't have a child in a Victoria Jubilee Hospital or even Andrews or anywhere. Sometimes, you know, them say enough settings, you know, but I wish when them a come back, when them I'll go up with a private plane, them take. When them a come back, that drowning at the sea with the whole of them. Them a shit house. Them a crab louse, them a nastiness, them a murderer, them a pedophiles, them a outlaw rapists. But I know the justice going to fall upon them picnic. I know if you're fucking up. Because remember, you know, you spit in the sky, it fall in your eyes. And the mother and father eat the sour grape, it set the children's teeth on edge. It must happen to the oldest son them. It must happen to Vaz and him family them. Hagging tie. Nasty criminal hagging tie. With thieves $650 million Jamaican dollars in a car scandal. But I know the crime minister don't turn the black eye and look on him. I know. And it's taxpayers' money. These people are making a mockery of the Jamaican taxpayers. And I don't know. I used to ask the question how long, but now I now ask it in other terms more. How much more of this you can take out of Jamaica? How much more Jamaican can absorb and bear at the hands of the regime led by the crime minister? But we do have a prime minister. We have a guy who's involved in all various activity as it relates to crime. All various activity. People are a joke melting pot of me. Me tell you last week, you know, if them have a pot of gold at the airport for me, all me have to do is just fly, me now come out of the airport. Me now go down there. Because they will use all a bag angle. All of the man will carry on your bag and shoot me and kill me. I remember from him work for the state, him now got prison. I would never risk my life going back to Jamaica right now. Me not doing it. So when nasty Andrew Holness come and talk about Jamaica not come back, I lie my tell the Jamaica not coming back on a FEMA administration. Jamaica who migrate to the state already have been introduced to brilliant society and how a good society function. Nice working environment, nice road to drive on, no harassment from police, no gunshot, no fire. Them a get good salary when them a come back to Jamaica for. And you think you can come lie to it? Them look at you that them not listen to you. Me I tell you that. We are talk to. Cause the whole of them know by now say you're a liar. Them know you're a criminal, them know you're a thief. And me wouldn't send my youth to make you talk to my youth, you know, ask the Prime Minister. You can't talk to my people, they're in the position you have them better. I'm not coming. You're going to fully made up pay a crime and lie. Me see one lady, you know, she said not even bulldozer can take her out of Canada to come back to Jamaica. They despise Jamaica under your leadership. Under your criminal kleptocratic administration, nobody who migrate and leave Jamaica under your administration will never return back under your administration. That would never make sense. Yeah? Never call us, Sir Byron.
Yes. Hold on. Let me put you on. Hold on. All right. Yes, caller. Go ahead. Sorry about that, melting pot.
No, man. Put on the caller.
Yes, caller. Go ahead.
Good night.
Blessings.
Good night. Oh my God, when I listen to all of this tonight, I tell you,
it's rough.
after, yeah, man, it's rough, but I'm doing a paper, and I have to put the paper aside. I can't believe something like this happening. And the people that I talk about them, one Prime Minister, 1 PM, Jamaica run good, with all of them kind of dirty nastiness, corruption, the state of the country. But the Prime Minister bring the country into, and the man know all of these things that is mentioned tonight and more, you know, is happening, you know. And the man don't put a stop to it. And it continue and it continue and it continue to the state Jamaica is into. People in Jamaica, I want to tell you though, me don't know how to manage, you know. How Jamaica will come back from this? This is a long road ahead. A whole heap of blood down other nation there, you know. And cover up, you know. And secrecy, you know. Among those people sitting in the parliament. Whole heap of blood upon them. And they come out smiling. But God see, you know. God see all the evil, you know. And it's just a matter of time.
Just a matter of time, my sister.
Just a matter of time. It dirty, bad. It can't worse no more. It's terrible. How can a Prime Minister, you lead a country, and you know all of this, and you allow it to happen under your leadership? You have to come, Andrew. You have to resign, you know. You don't have no shame. One shame tree there.
Yeah.
I did it, Dad. All the tough time him. I come a promise, I come back and I promise. We don't want no more promise from you. I resign you for resign, you know. Only too enough and outer and dirty, you know. We don't want some GS pound, you know. To wash you off. Jesus, please, no, man, this can. Look here, you know what me, I bet all where I go on. One thing you I want to jump to, you know. I come take you out down there, you know, one by one, you know. Take you out. You must come out. That leadership must turn down. It must be null and void, that leadership. We have to go do something, you know. We have to do something.
Don't worry about that.
We have to do something to get international people to listen to it. Jamaica can't do it. We can't depend on the judicial system down there. Because the whole lock, stock and barrel of them buy out. And you have the whole of them and the amount in pocket. What can happen like that? What can go so? return of dirtiness in this corruption? Oh my God. You see those children we can't find? Blood murder there? Yes, see it here now. See it here now. The Illuminati, the lodge and the all of the sitting them will desire blood sacrifice. See it there? And I talk about to the honorable. All of that must take away too. All of that must go. Honorable? Honorable? These people? We say them are honorable and them are this and them are that? No, man. We have to do something. We have to cry out more. We have to cry out more. They must go. They must leave. And if they now come out by free will, we have to put some force on them. It can't work no more. Can't work, Brother Baron. Sister Anne, people. Melting pot. Lord, we not try. We are try. But it get worse and worse every day. And them sit down same way. Them not turn for come out to make the system better. Come out, come confess. Wanna do? We not go to jail now. We not have to go to jail. We must have to go to jail. For them corruption and all of them kind of thing there. Andrew Holness sit down and I say my run Jamaica and allow him millions to corrupt Jamaica so and I go like him not do nothing.
Oh, wicked.
You move my baby bad to rotting, man. No, sir. Sometimes when I make people talk some things that them nothing say, no. I want to make people have to talk things because our Prime Minister must lead the country to this. He bet you never did born. He bet you mama did dash away. You know how much people life you make interrupt? You know how much people life you make worse instead of better? Jamaica now grow. It's stagnant 1% growth. Will you ever hear that? Everything stands still. On the thief left, right, and center and chop the money and have all kind of this a company, that company. And you know, hear what the company them do for Jamaica. Tough time, the 80 million for Tuntun. What it do? What the company them name? What service them render to Jamaica? You don't hear all of that. Company here so to snatch the money, misuse the money, and take money too. And with all that is happening in Jamaica and the people them life not changing and turning around, anything happening in the constituency, they are there. And them now go see the people them run out to the people them and help them. All the 3-year-old picnic were dead. And the mother of your asked to help to bury the picnic with them see him one kill. I don't want one up to it. None of them now help on the trillions of dollars want to sit down and get every month. It no short. It no delay. I not get paid. What have we done to Jamaica to deserve all of that money? We not do nothing.
But wicked man.
People's lives are worse than ever. And then some of them sit down they see me about look here, man. They say, Uno help kill Jesus twice. Uno for dead, Uno for suffer. All of them neighbors they were talk about one payment. Jamaica, Uno wicked. If you say them they out on the mouth because they know nothing no go so. Or a shame them must shame Mr. Byron that them can't speak up and talk out.
Right.
How long Jamaica is gonna continue underneath this?
That's the question.
They must go, they must resign, Town must go, Vaz the boss. You want more money, which part?
Wicked man.
You know what, look here. I want them visa taken away. You know why too? That anytime them backside stick them ton of Jamaica like the people them down there where they make us suffer and them suffer too. Them visa must be taken away that they can't go nowhere to no health care. Imagine, look on the health care where the people them are get. And the health care that and who can go foreign and a post up because the same money they want to thief. Help uno for go there. And on the pay alone when I get. All on the thief out the whole of Jamaica up to the land on the take. Up to the piece of land them the people them forget. When they take it to. Eh? No, sir. We have to go right to Mr. Trump, man. We have to go say something to Trump. Trump have to take them out, man. Me don't care where I want to go down anywhere else. Yes. War always carry a price. But me want him to come take them out of Jamaica. Them have to go. Tough time, you must resign. We don't want no more of you. How much time we tell you that? Resign. Whatever your aspiration, you're not going to get it. So you better you resign from now. We don't want no more thief. We don't want no more leader where we can't trust. And the same thing you're going to do because you do it already. So, look, sit down there, wait. Sit down there, wait. It's a Baron.
All right.
It's bad.
It's bad, man.
And look here, man. Look here, Lord Jesus. Lord Jesus. 5 more years of what? 5 more years of what? Well, the people that are dead, you know. And they not record it neither, you know. People them dying, you know. Go on social media. I say upon weekend how much funeral like crazy. Those not, some of them not recorded. The situation's bad.
Grim.
Look what the man carried Jamaica. Look what Andrew Holness carried Jamaica too. Look how Andrew Holness really do. Dog me and me a supper. And that me I tell you, dog me and me a supper. Wait. They must seize them asset too, you know. They must seize them asset, Brother Byron. Seize them asset, take with them passport.
Oh yeah.
Take with them visa too. Let them sit down there.
Let's start with Royal Reid next week. I want put him away, man.
I want the judge put it on him, into bare face and bright. Every minute
he's going to get it.
Him a file. If you don't want to go backside prison, stop being a damn thief.
Exactly.
We're not thief from me now, no mama bail. No, just come up, so come thief. We're not thief long time and the last
application that.
But it just come to light.
A strictly trial now going forward.
Because if you have integrity in you have your integrity. Whether camera they on you, yes or no, anybody I watch you do the right thing all the time. That's integrity. Nobody not for watch you. It's in you to do the right thing. The whole of them are scoffers. Team, Andrew, them follow. Andrew Holness, you may attack. Them follow you. And you just have everything running in a circle. Near my food, government. All of them you bring in to come near my food out for the poor people. Them and the idiot them sit down there, make on rich and them poor every day. And then go to hospital and then carry get good care. While uno alright can fly out. Anything can go so?
Wicked.
That is caring, that is love. Me tell you for that uno one down there. It's all I want to go vote. I want to go and take this diaspora. Me tell you, me not tell you so enough to give it now. But me have to give on condition now. Yeah. It's a mistake. Melting pot, Sister Anne. Lord God help us. Thank you, it's a mistake.
Blessings, sister, blessings.
Because some of the things that we're doing tonight, man, may I tell you, oh, unto them, Lord. Oh, unto them, Jesus.
All right.
And more, there's much more to,
Yes.
But little by little, you will hear things unfold. Little by little, things are coming out of one holy person,
Yes.
on one mountain. I see God. No, sir, I never see this yet. Government.
All right.
A government, don't tell them name,
No, them no government, sister.
Have a good night. God bless and keep, And boy, may I tell you, see there now, 2 radio stations are going to lock down. And social media do it with good bloggers.
Oh, yes.
God bless you.
Bless up yourself, my sister, and walk good. All right. So All right. So, my gentle people, that's
Hold on,
where.
Sir Byron. Hold on, Sir Byron. And the
Yeah,
note
we
of
have-
government, I want the Jamaican people to know, say, the massive of the people out there, you are the government. They are the legislature. I want to call out the government and the legislator them. Remove them from parliament. Them are shit over the Labour Party side. Government is the general public at large. Yeah? Don't forget that. They are only legislators that have been put there to govern. The government is the massive of the people. The one them we are walking and us like them are government. Move the nasty legislator them from over the Labour Party. Get them out of parliament. Let us bring them to justice. Let us bring justice to the table once and for all. And bring back Jamaica in the hands of the true and living people that respect and deserve principality and the peace of the Creator. Yes, sir, Byron.
All right. Thank you for that, Melting Pot. Let me just hand over for to Wifey to close us out. Wifey. All right.
As usual, guys, thank you so much for your continued support. Thank you to all the new subscribers. Thank you to those who have been here with us from beginning, those who joined us along the journey. Really appreciate each and every one. We know you could have been somewhere else or doing other things tonight, but that you chose to be with us. So we do not take that for granted. So I'm going to say one love and walk good. Safe travel on the gravel. Until next time. Bless up.
Melting Pot tomorrow, we link.
Melting Pot.
Bless
Yeah,
you.
man. Bless up, my brother. Yeah, man. Respect and do that. Sister Anne-Marie, enough love and respect. Same way.
Bless up.
Blessings.
All right.
To all the family, blessings.
Blessings. Oh.
I know why you come to me with that foolishness, you know. You elect a prime minister, and is a prime minister run the country. It is time we learn to hold our leaders accountable for their actions and stop making excuses for them. Stop making excuses. Otherwise, go elect the people who really run in the country. And I don't want to right there that stupid argument. Hold the people you elect accountable and stop making excuses for them.